That's how we come in, dude. That's
More dice.
Love it.
Welcome, Internet. It's the Woodness Guild. I'm Mike Steiger, current guild master. These are the guild lieutenants. Gather around the table. We have, I'm trying different things every week, man. It's just something. First order of business, we may be changing schedules early. Anybody have any preference on that? We didn't talk about that, and that's the thing. We'll keep you posted.
7 o'clock, right?
7 o'clock, but we may do it earlier. Yeah, we may do it earlier than the daylight savings. Is everyone okay with that?
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, no, it was, I guess Debbie and I talked about it briefly.
You took Arthur home, right?
No,
Yeah. No, he got it. Cool. So that's first order of business. We'll keep you guys posted. Check us out at thewoodnessguild.com for further updates, and make sure you send us fan stuff or stuff. Fan with PH.
Yeah, PH.
Second order of business. Anybody have anything important they need to put out?
Your dental hygiene's important.
Oh.
Yeah.
Drink water.
Yeah.
I might have to get a root canal.
Oh.
Get out of here.
100%.
You ever had
Before
one?
the fucking wedding. Never
There's
had
no
one.
way.
You can push that pad.
Yeah.
Not the
so
pain that I'm having. I can't even breathe in.
Get it done. It's fine. It won't hurt. If you have a good doctor, it'll be fine. It'll be uncomfortable sitting for like an hour and a half, but you won't feel pain.
I had my first filling it the other day, and it was.
You know.
Listen to the tool.
You know.
Yeah, I've never had
What
that.
helps with oral hygiene
You drink coffee though.
is to kill the bacteria in your mouth with alcohol.
Yeah,
Speaking
you
of,
picked the.
for those of us who are participating in this, do you want to pull up the chart?
That's what I think.
Wait, what?
It's just.
Yeah, no, I can't remember. That's the problem. I'm going to need those who are participating to roll for inebriation.
Oh, wait. We
We're starting a new thing.
Will you hand me the D20s behind you?
Yeah. We are starting.
That was.
It was a great roll.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll that.
We're starting a new thing just for funsies, because with funsies and
I'll roll it.
the weather's changing.
We'll just take turns.
We're going to
let's do that.
take shots based off of a chart of D20 information our wonderful Matthew has put together for us. And some of them are good and some of them are really bad. So why don't we go ahead and start with...
Are some of them really bad?
They're rough, dude. We went out of our way.
What is our list again? It's the
These are really cool.
stuff.
Instead of the tequila, we went with
we were gonna do tequila and
Maritime.
hot sauce.
Yeah, but Maritime Johnny's is way worse.
Maritime Johnny's. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Very similar to another brand.
Did we get Jaeger?
Yeah, no, we got Deermeister.
What
That's what we have.
What is deer?
Yeah, it's all the Kirkland brand stuff.
If you want,
Which,
you can put up.
which is name brand stuff with the Kirkland brand.
Yeah, it is.
That's
yeah.
a fact. Yeah.
I
You
do
go ahead and hit us.
Guys,
Hit us.
You can put up the
Roll
map
the 20.
cam with all of us as well.
no,
We
I'm
can just
thinking
roll
the
where the
thing.
map is.
Oh yeah. Does everybody have their dice? Everybody knows.
Whatever, I'm
We're all gonna pass this
We're
around.
not-
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
just
see
a big
that.
one.
You want to take us over to the map cam then?
That's why I
You
said.
got us. Dude, so responsible.
Oh man.
All right, Tover, take us away. 15. What do we got, dude?
15 is vodka.
Cloud vodka,
Pass it
dude.
on.
Cloud vodka.
That's literally my.
Yeah.
Cloud vodka.
You can tell. It's a knockoff
First
brand.
one for Chris
That's,
again.
that's probably.
Who's next?
Yeah.
Get this. Where's the stick?
It's
Where's the stick?
Stick.
I'll roll.
Oh, thank God.
Bottoms up, boys.
I was watching TV and I saw that and I was like,
19.
If you get a whiskey, I'll trade you.
Jack Daniels. What do we do?
Yeah, no, we have a knockoff brand Jack Daniels called Jan Donald's.
Jan Daniels.
That's your Jan Donald's right there. Oh God, that was
Use the
terrible.
stick.
Use
You
the
want
stick.
it right
This is
here,
what
or
it's
do you
for.
want it?
The whole point of rolling bad is that you have to
Alright.
drink that. It's not for me to
I'll do it. I can do
Get
it.
in there.
Okay.
You can't swap.
You can pour it yourself.
You cannot swap.
Yes, I can.
You roll what you roll.
You roll. I didn't hear any more rules.
That's the whole point of it.
12.
12 is vodka.
12 Cloud vodka.
you're welcome.
Yes.
I cannot push that safely.
Nope.
I'm extremely happy.
You're gonna
Matthew?
kill Glonaful.
I really don't want
Thank
to.
you. Head in the clouds, baby.
16.
I don't like
That
this
is
dice.
Jack.
Oh, it's Jan.
Jan.
Donald's.
No.
Jan.
Go ahead.
Wait, is this what you get? You get
Jack
the same thing?
It's like a baseball throw. 5.
5
Can I pour it back into the bottle?
What's great is most of these rolls are
Deermeister.
most of these rolls are
Wait,
perfect.
did we on it? Roll?
Yeah.
Oh, 5.
Oh wow, that's worse than what I got. I'm sorry.
Oh, trust me.
Everyone
That's
gets
worse
a
than
shot
that.
they roll.
I like Jägermeister.
You're like,
4 is Deermeister.
Deermeister, that is yours.
Jaeger Dicer is good.
Steigermeister.
Hunter, when you pour that past the rock.
Oh, shy guy.
Pass the rock.
Okay, well,
Fuck this.
This is a great way to start the day. So, how's everyone's week? Hope everybody's been enjoying it. Let's do a recap right now, because why not? You guys had left the circus establishment, gone and checked out where your interesting elf friend had been.
You're old.
Shenanigans.
Seriously,
And
Debbie.
then more shenanigans. And then you guys were spied upon. Once you were spied upon, you guys traced that spy back to a local bar and establishment that was run by a very familiar Nigel. When you confronted him about it and tried to gather more information.
Give me a
Look,
cup.
dude, if you want to do it,
Give me
you
a
can
cup.
do it.
Let her roll. Are you gonna roll?
No, I'm not gonna roll.
Yeah, you gotta roll.
And if I take a shot, I'll do.
Why not roll?
She's participating.
Just
I'll do-
roll.
Why not roll? Rolling is the point.
Just
Give
roll.
her the dark brown.
Rolling is the point.
What do I
Jan
roll?
Donald.
why would you not
Roll.
like that?
After confronting Nigel,
You're jealous.
the building burned down
I
because
just
he set off the
didn't
trap.
for-
Man, good times.
That?
Alright, are we doing it at the same time? Is that what's
Oh yeah. Are we ready? Is everybody
No,
ready?
I thought we'll do it when we come back from the little thing.
Yeah.
You described just
Okay.
the thing. We got
You
it.
guys had the building explode. The townsfolk didn't take kindly to this. You summoned a couple creatures to help you as you tried to sneak out of town or just avoid the mob in general. Dude, a nat 20, man, we got stuff for nat 20s.
Yeah, we do.
She didn't roll that.
Did you get the apple?
You get some micro.
No, I just got regular.
You have the apple?
I never do the extra sugary stuff, man. Always gives me headaches.
Fair.
Having burned down the town, you guys ran into the forest at different times, running out briefly. I think Nebuntash and I almost said Luca and Odette. You guys saw the town was being sieged. Something was laying siege to it. Went back into the forest. You had a scary dream thing. And that's where we left off. So unless anybody has any further to-dos, empty 9 bladders, grab a new drink, and we are going to hop in with the Weed Eater and cut through the plot on tonight's episode of Witness Guild. I'm trying, man. I'm reaching now.
I mean, technically.
And we're back.
All right.
I don't want to do it.
Everybody but
Over
Devin
to
because she's
you.
late.
No.
Oh.
I'm scared.
Debbie! I'm trying to take a shot. Don't make me laugh. Goddamn.
We're all pussies.
You guys remember back in the day when it was like 6 shots and you just be like bam, 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 bam.
Oh, your faces are hilarious.
He acts
Hunter
like-
looks
he-
normal.
He acts like. I don't know why that's funny to you.
Alright,
Just thought it was funny.
so waking up the next morning
Everyone's faces.
having.
You guys all sourpuss.
Hunter's the only one who didn't cringe. It's because
I do. I
you
go like
were in a
this. I
frat.
always go.
You're the only one in a frat.
The wins.
That's true
The
too.
wins.
Or wasn't
Fucking
something
sick.
disturbingly gross.
Share the table.
You don't like vodka at all?
No, I hate it.
It's
That's
like
just
fucking
worse.
Literally,
right
it's
by
my
my
least
knee.
favorite alcoholic.
I don't think he needs
There's nothing I hate worse than vodka.
It's like it was like
Vodka's
Maybe
shit,
we need to
man.
tailor-made make the roll number
Okay,
for every
each
person.
Yeah.
So if you roll like
Instead
a
of
2 or
okay.
Not even kidding you, I have a whole fridge and freezer full of different whiskeys. I can fill half the fucking dice with nice whiskeys.
There's a type of
You know,
voting where they
all
use
I'm
this
suggesting
instead of
is-
using the winner take all, where
Yeah.
what we do right now, where you try to outvote the guy you don't want.
Right.
Oh,
There's a way to like rank
my
the people you do want. So you end up voting for all the candidates and you put them in the order they want. I can't remember what it's called, but it's very important and it's something you should look into if you're interested in not having Joe Biden or Donald Trump as president.
If you want something different than
Talk
two
to
people.
write a letter to your congressman.
Where are we going?
Anyway,
What
I
happened?
thought we were talking about alcohol and then all of a
I'm
sudden.
sorry, I went down a different lane than everyone else.
No,
Okay.
Nice. We don't talk about politics.
what I'm saying
Fuck outta
is
here
we
with
could
that
do
shit.
that with alcohol. We could do it where like, okay, my nat 20
All
would
right.
be
Well,
this.
thanks for bringing it to the real world. The real adult world.
Dude, I'm here.
I
I'm
come
here
here to
help.
escape.
I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys have been camping. You guys have been out in the forest. It's cold. It's freezing. Thus far, you haven't had too many instances of worry, we'll say. Connack, you had noticed that some of the shadow primate things had passed by at one point in the night, but keeping everybody else low and naturally being capable of not needing sleep, your watch went by fairly easy. Light begins to return to the forest very softly in the beginning, as
He's with us, right?
Mhm.
Aren't we arguing?
oh yeah, that is Oh, Thank you.
Weren't there bad things
I
happening?
think, yeah, I thought we ended on a very
Yep.
bad note.
Yep.
Well, us three were like.
You guys are in anger. I forgot about that.
Like, we were in a very
They've
bad
passed
situation.
out, but as they come back to, you guys still feel the same resentment and frustration towards each other, having traveled for so long, or really, realistically, you're not sure what's driving it, but man.
It's us three and then them three. Our zero sexual group.
Okay.
Are there things that are outside of this plane that can push people to be angry, or is it just the frustration of how confusing?
Make an Arcana check for me. That's a good way to start the day, guys.
15. Let me just see if I have it.
Oh no.
Oh, it's that
Wow.
vodka bird.
It's
Sorry.
coming back. It's coming back.
Go back for a
Is
second
that what
showing.
vodka does to you?
I don't know. That's been
15
He
years.
hasn't drank vodka
Well,
in
it's
like
15. Do I have an
years,
Arcana? Do I
probably.
have a plus
Arcana would
sometimes?
be
He's still
in your
not,
skills, yeah.
I think it's one of the top 3.
16.
Would you prefer
Okay.
a flavor vodka?
Cool.
Thinking back to the time that you spent with Lucas in this forest, you know that there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 11 or 12 different arms that kind of spiral outward from a central point in this forest, and each one of those arms seems to have a different effect. But he did mention that the 7 cardinal sins are represented by at least one arm in this region. Thinking about it for a while, wrath and anger. It's one of the 7 cardinal sins.
So what are we doing? Are they still arguing? Are they pissed
Yeah,
off
no,
at each
they're
other?
pissed off at each other. You guys, it's really annoying to listen to them at this point.
Yeah, he's walking real slow at this fucking point. It's just getting on my goddamn nerves.
We have one mission to get to one place. The bird sits behind me, and the elephant is in the front.
What
And
fucking
we-
place?
What the hell was that for?
I felt it.
I see this elephant
I
get drunk off in
felt
one
it.
shot. It takes
I told
Big
you
boy,
that.
lightweight.
This is the big elephant, that's very lightweight when it comes to the liquor. Alright. Bird and elephant separate. I don't know if they're gonna listen, so.
Okay. For the duration of your experience, you guys will have disadvantage on attack rolls while within direct sight of each other.
Is this a charm or something?
It is similar to a charm, I suppose.
I have,
Do you have
I have
something?
advantage against being charmed
Hmm.
or frightened.
It's not so. It's similar to being
Okay.
charmed.
That's fine. No, just as long as you know that.
You're.
You know. The more
Yeah.
you know.
It's
Yeah.
homebrewy enough to not be a
Right,
charm.
right. No, it's some homebrew
That's
bullshit.
exactly
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Homebrew bullshit.
You guys are continuing to where you believe you would find
Yeah.
Lucas.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Aren't we going to the town? We're going
to,
I wasn't there during this whole
Quindet.
Quindet, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Quindet.
Making responsible decisions and staying home. Okay, you guys start on your way.
Yeah.
Good enough. Wow. No, you guys are fine. I consider that to be in canon. Like that's a quiet morning conversation. As you guys come to, you find Nebuntash.
No, we're trying to figure out what we're doing.
You guys find
You were sleeping.
Nebuntash kind of staring off in the distance, glancing at a tree every now and then. Slightly more pale than usual, but seems calm and collected.
Were we going to see Lucas?
Huh?
Remember that.
Right.
Give it to Mike. Give it to Mike.
Yeah.
Send it over. Just give him a full
Are you
send
okay?
across to the DM.
Are you okay?
Yes.
I'm lovely.
Don't
worry about
the
it.
Boquette beer.
Read the
No, read the
underside.
I think we should
I don't know how to do that.
shove off, as my group used to say in the boats.
Should we just start making our way?
You too, Leon. That's to everyone at the table. You can just pass it around to everybody and take it as you will.
I don't think I like that very much.
Mike, you're beautiful. Calm down. It's okay.
So you guys start on to your
I
way
needed
towards Lucas then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to need whoever is helming your guys' experience, whoever's leading the way, to make a nature check for me.
Okay.
Or, sorry, your nature, their survival. So, yeah. There's a reason for that too, and I can't remember what it is.
Huh. Because
Wait, who's
Since I wrote it down, since I wrote down the symbols and everything like that to get through the forest, does that give me any advantage?
Yeah.
Since I actually,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because you spent time working with Lucas on it. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh,
Also, DM, I just wanted to say that the feat that I took last time is Keen Mind.
is it really?
Oh,
boy.
I think you would
21.
enjoy that.
Bullshit.
No, I really actually fucking hate that feat.
Why?
You used to
Oh,
just
wait, what's your
sessions
feat?
ago, actually.
You can't magical items, is that what
No, fucking Keen Mind, dude. It's the worst. It's like,
Yeah,
let me hold the DM accountable for every single word he's ever said.
Yo!
Ever.
Everything.
You said.
What?
His character.
I'm so
Anyways.
observant.
So yes, you start leading him through. You find a nice vein of similar symbols that leads to the heart. And from what Lucas told you, you wouldn't be far off from the city at some point if you kept following these.
Do I remember the name of Lucas's mother?
Actually,
It was not
it's
just
you haven't spoken to Lucas since this newfound awareness has come to you, so you wouldn't remember anyways.
I see what you're doing there.
Should I be like, thanks
not
for
wrong.
2 days of Michael?
What's your mom's name? Back to you guys. I need, let's see, your nature and you two are survival. You make survival checks. If, actually, go ahead and roll a d6. Both of you roll a
What is
d6.
D6?
Both of you roll a d6.
Shit.
5.
Okay, I was gonna say on a 4 and up, you're going the right way.
5.
So you guys both decide in your congruity to go the right way, even though it's begrudgingly. Now you guys can, whoever's leading the expedition.
I'm just gonna
make a
pick
survival
one
check,
up,
except for
put
you
him
have
on my
nature.
shoulders, and just,
Out of anger?
Really
it's more of
confident.
I'm tired of you walking slow kind of deal. Yes,
Gotcha.
yes, out of
So we have
anger.
to play to this, right?
It's a very frustrating pick your little ass up and put you on my fucking shoulders.
Okay, Gloda goes up on your
Fucking walk.
shoulders, and he's gonna start pecking at your
Are
head.
we considered in a forest?
Ding, ding, yes.
Would you say that we're in a, I'm just asking, in what, because you like to homebrew some fucking stupid shit, we could be in some magical realm and not a forest.
It is a
So,
forest. Yeah.
okay.
And it
Is there a
is
yellow brick
magic.
road anywhere?
Actually, it's not technically a forest. It's more of an estuary, or not. What's the estuary? Help me out here. What's the thing in Arizona that there's a little bit of, and it's like the most unique ecosystem of all of them?
Riparians?
Riparian. Yeah, it's more of a riparian.
It's just like a
Right,
wet
prairie.
area, like a nice little wetter area. Yeah. Maybe a little stream or river.
Yeah, and you guys can hear the sound of this burbling stream.
So
Sounds
if if I'm a natural explorer and mine is forest, do I get advantage? It doesn't really say anywhere.
You are-
Do I
you
get
are
advantage
in
on
forest.
nature? Or no?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
First one is a
You are
16.
currently being pecked on the head ferociously.
All right,
like it is-
19. 19 on nature.
Got it. As you are walking, you can hear the grunting of a Luxodon and this occasional squawk and
With
just
my trunk,
loud
I'm
sounds.
like
You turn
trying to
around
poke
and you
you
can
back.
see, like, Ryan is trying to attack Wanapo, who's like dodging nimbly out of the way of the trunk. And every time, like, he sees an opportunity, he's just like, "Huzzah! Huzzah!" It's painful to watch.
It'd be pretty funny to watch.
What is wrong with the bird and the elephant? I told you to spread apart. One,
Turn this caravan
you
around.
are 1, you are 2, and I am 3. You understand? Spread.
Guanapo looks up at you and does this like a little baby.
Okay, you
We're
can
going
get on
too
my,
slow.
you can get on
If
my
you want
shoulder.
to carry
Stay away from the elephant.
I'm going to pick up Guanapo and literally
How tall
just
are you?
drop him
I
onto
think I'm like 6.
the shoulders
I'm
of.
not too short.
Okay. As
Okay.
you
how
you
far
pick
you are.
it Guanapo up by like the nape, and like there's like this couple pops, and you're like, I may have just pulled a couple of feathers out, and you place him on.
Alright, no.
You big daddy little guy. Big daddy little guy
This is
fan.
my little buddy.
Killer fan.
You're making me tear up.
You are
It's not- doesn't show my
ferociously,
characteristics.
blindingly
I'm like
mad at
6'6".
right now.
You're 6'6", okay.
Like
Guanapo's about 5 foot. So it'd be...
so we're playing chicken.
Yeah. Like a raven. No, it's a unique sight. Seeing somebody try to play chicken as they walk through a creepy haunted forest. You guys manage to avoid a couple pitfalls every now and then. There seems to be some traps. You find a tripwire actually that looks like it's attached to a mechanism that will release a large log with spikes in it. And looking at it, it looks like it's a very old trap. You're not even sure if it would activate properly, but you skirt it anyways. First half of your day goes by relatively easy. You three, go ahead and make another nature / survival check for me.
Who's doing survival?
Well, it's really whoever's leading the troop at this point.
Would not be me.
Okay.
19.
There you go. Yeah, easy enough. You start following the arc. You can see that every now and then there's a tree that'll jump in front of you, and it's the wrong tree, and you have to kind of backtrack and move to your right a little bit. But especially with, even though he seems out of it, Nebuntash every now and then will chime in with a very helpful, like, that's not the right one. No, that's not where we were at. And just kind of point out that some of the symbols are similar but changing.
Well, since he didn't have this before, would he even know?
Are you trying to work
He
against me over here? What are
he
you doing?
can contribute to what he's seen thus far.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Keen Mind is really frustrating in that he can basically replicate or repeat anything that he's heard or seen in the last 30 days. And he always knows how many hours till sunset.
I knew a dragon who had.
It is
Yeah.
a really
Rogak.
decent day, and time seems to shift. Every now and then you feel like it's closer to sunset, maybe it's a little bit further from sunset, and you start to think that maybe time doesn't work the same way in this forest. As you travel for the better part of 6 hours total, without much incident. There's a couple moments where you hear a babbling brook, very familiar sound to the three of you, and you skirt and decide to try and stay out of the range or.
I also always know which way is north.
This is like a turtle.
So how does that factor in?
As it's weird, you walk straight and north seems to move. Okay. It's not, you can't follow north because every time you start walking straight, north seems to change. It mostly at this point changes to your left, but every now and then you'll see it shift back to its right. But yeah,
Does
it's
it
like
seem like we're
walking
at-
laterally to it. Even though if you point straight at it and walk the same direction, it still moves.
Do we feel like we're actually getting somewhere?
I would say between the three of you, yeah. It's a little, what's the word? Treacherous at times, especially with your size and your footing. There's a couple slips, a couple, occasional, dirt or rock giving out underneath you. The land is not perfectly flat anymore in this section. It's more of old washes and dried up creeks. There's a lot of moss in this area, low-hanging mist every now and then. It's quiet and it's cold, but for the most part, You guys managed to go through the majority of it without any incident. Back to you guys. Your legs are starting to get a little tired from carrying Guanapo. He's not the heaviest, but having to just climb over, root systems and the intertwining vein-like structures on the ground can be tricky at times when you're carrying another person on your shoulder. It's dry for the most part, and I would say that from what you're used to of being stealthy, Fan is a little bit noisier than you're used to, with the occasional crack of a branch. And when you turn around and look at him, he just has this look of pissed off anger, and you're not sure if he's breaking things on purpose or if it's unintentional and he's getting more agitated as a result.
You guys think so?
Did you guys roll twice or once?
Just once.
Do it again for me.
Are we rolling this?
Whoever's helming, whoever's leading.
6 or 20?
He's leading.
Whoever's leading?
Right? Oh.
No,
Who's
he's
leading?
I'll
He's
lead.
leading?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
He
leading.
said he's loud.
Roll a d6.
Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna roll the bloody ones because you know.
D6.
Oh shit! I'll roll the bloody ones because you know.
Shit.
They don't work when you're not the DM.
What do we know? You didn't finish that statement.
4 and up because that's what you
Still,
said.
in your frustration, sorry, he's the only one who can do that? Yeah, in your frustration, you still don't have the heart to lead your group astray, even though it would make you feel really fucking good.
Yeah.
To get one pulling over on Guanapo.
Yeah.
Aw.
And you start thinking about that rock and like, I wonder what he would see.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll a d20 for me. Nature check.
I wonder what
Survival.
Guanapo
Survival.
would see in the room.
Survival. Yeah, you start. That's where your mind wanders. To.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
Like you have this like brief fantasy about
Okay.
shoving Guanapo
Yeah.
into that rock.
Yeah.
You gotta tell him.
That one.
Hell yeah.
You take a step out of frustration. You're looking around, and things are starting to look identical, like painfully, horribly identical. You just decide like it's fucking Guanapo staring at the back of your head. Like you
Yeah.
can't fucking handle this.
Yeah.
You turn behind a tree real quick and
Yeah.
put your head up against it. Take a deep breath. And you look around the tree. Guanapo,
Oh.
Connack,
Fucking tits.
they're not there.
I'm alone.
Well, shit.
There's no one here.
Did we see him?
beside me.
Guanapo!
Did you hear him?
No response.
Nevermore.
Alright. Well,
You
do I sit? Do I go? I know it moves. The guy told me it moves. So we go. Okay. Fuck. I'm just gonna keep walking towards
make a perception check for me.
the good old place, you know? Not with that dice, that's for
Oh,
damn
yeah.
sure. We'll use the one I fell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. Just so much better than what I just did all that.
When I go to the other plane, can I take anyone with me?
I don't think so. You can look at the properties of the spell and see what's up.
Hey,
You take a moment and you kind of like circle the tree,
yeah.
leaving your hand on it to make sure that it's
Yeah.
the same tree. You come around, and as you come to the full 360 mark, you stop, and you can hear the snapping of twigs and some heavy breathing. You quickly hunker down and start glancing. It's hard to hide. And you know that.
No.
You pull your scimitars out as you see a large, blackened, violet finger hand start wrapping around the side of the tree, and pushing its way out is a massive, about 8 foot tall, shadowy, bipedal, possibly some sort of primate. It's hard to tell. It's
How far away? Just in the same tree as me?
no, it's about 40 feet away from you.
Okay, I just want to like tuck behind my tree and like squat on the ground.
I was gonna have you roll for initiative.
Oh shit. Well, no, that's fine. We'll roll the initiative. Oh, what is it? That rolled so far.
The stick.
Yeah, it's not
6
on
plus
that
1. 7.
7. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we don't have any of the other characters
Yeah, no,
out.
my little
Why don't you?
Can I do something right now?
Little area.
Yeah, give me 1
I don't know. I can't do this. No, I can't do it.
Sorry for being concerned.
So I can't leave
Nope.
Guanaco.
Nope. Hey, how about the DJ?
Yo, dude, I'm already ahead of the game.
DJ,
Best.
that's my DJ.
Don't
Alright.
comment on this.
We got the dead guy. We got dump truck ass.
Oh, that's
We
not
got-
dump.
Isn't that dump truck ass?
Nope, that is not.
We need to start keeping you two together.
You should. I don't understand why you don't.
Just my
No, there's dump truck ass.
Yes, I found out.
Does this forest border the ethereal plane?
I mean, not that you know of in any way. It seems to be fucked up magically,
No,
especially based off that last
Tell
roll.
me if it's a one.
No, it's not like a gateway or anything to the ethereal plane.
Not gateway, but does the ethereal plane border? That's my question. Can you get to the ethereal plane from?
No, there's no immediate crossover in this forest. So who do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, great. Got it. Perfect. Okay. There's so much stuff down here that's entertaining and fun. And that just looks like a great place to leave those. Alright. So, Guapo.
Yeah, it's just
and
little me.
dump truck
I
ass. And you. And where's Connack at? Okay, good. Yeah, as this creature straightens itself up, it's about 11 feet tall.
Yeah.
And you see it as this massive, hulking figure of what appears to be some sort of gorilla. I need you two to go ahead and roll initiative as well.
It's a gorilla.
Okay.
17.
Oh yeah, I guess we can get that out of here.
That's my initial. I think it's an 18 for me. So let me just double check. Where would my initiative be on the screen? Is it in abilities?
No, it should be, yeah, abilities, yeah. Sounds right.
Yeah, 18.
All right, hit me again one more time. 18,
I think Guanaco got 17.
17, and what was yours, Span?
Mine was 7.
7, got it. Okay, as this creature uprights itself, you two are still stacked, enjoying life, confused at where Fan went when this monstrous green lizard thing drops down from the trees above you. It was very sudden and it was very unexpected. At the last second, your bow told you that it was coming as it was plummeting through the air down to the earth. It lands about 40 feet. Yeah, sure, we'll say that you both still warned you. Lands about 40 feet away from you. We'll say it tumbles back. There you go. Does a little back roll. Gets up and releases these massive silvered-looking claws from its hands. You're first. What are you gonna do?
Where are we?
You can
Fire
kick me
at
off.
it. I'm gonna fire at it. Well, I guess, yeah, I'm a sharpshooter, so it doesn't matter whether you're on my back or not. So
Yeah.
I'm firing.
Take it with her honor, anyways. That's awesome. Swagger.
I have 20. Let's see, this good action. Oh, I just forget this. Plus 9. 24,
24 hits.
23.
23 hits.
Of course, every time Hunter's Mark. Once I got the spell for I just have to get my dice out the first time, and then it won't happen again.
Then it won't happen again.
Yeah.
That's what they always say.
This is D8. This is D8.
And while this is happening, I'm gonna be screaming at the top of my fucking lungs.
Okay.
Just that heads up.
Uh,
Yeah, just an 8-foot going.
We're fucking
Yeah.
D8. D8, Jesus, chocolate Jehoshaphat. Give me a D8, Debbie. How can I not find one? This doesn't make any sense.
Yo, dude, I'm looking at the D8.
For her.
I need one. No, I know.
Just
It's right
kidding,
here.
that ain't one.
Why am I giving you my
Fucking lightweights over here.
No, they're good. They're
It's
good.
not a lightweight. I literally can't
Hey,
find
you
it.
and your friend Mike can shut up.
You got 4 sitting.
It's like for Mike to shut up. He's being a dick.
They got 5.
Both of you are really being obnoxious.
I don't appreciate it, dude.
I still have actions.
I knew we'd be able to peer pressure more
I
people to
always
do
forget.
shots
The
with us.
first time I
Yeah,
did this, every
yeah,
time
I knew it was gonna be them.
Yeah.
Whoa, what is going on?
Jesus.
Sorry.
Topher, where did you put Fan at?
Excuse me. What?
Where did you put Fan at?
He's under my character.
Is he?
List, yeah.
Oh. Out
Wow.
of curiosity, what's your armor class?
Wow, you said poop. 16.
Got
You
it.
lant liquor.
You lent liquor. Oh, we gotta update our little character sheets too with the rat.
Yeah. You guys are up one now.
Oh yeah, with our
Yeah,
surprise
that's
leveling
true.
up.
That's, dude, fully anticipate
Wait,
that's how it's
who's
gonna be from now on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You
never
went up an
mind.
extra level? You went up an extra level.
39 points of damage.
39 points of damage. Holy dog shit.
Damn, son.
You
Good
releasing
boy.
your arrows. Watch as they fly
Word
fly
up.
true and fly straight.
Huh?
The creature bringing its hand up to kind of deflect itself. You see this like flail of skin, this like flap open up, and it tries to shield itself. Wasn't the best plan because it's a thin flap of skin, and you watch as the arrows tear right through it and land in its chest. It
Yeah.
shrieks out in pain, and it just starts like shrieking continuously.
This is a Demogorgon.
It's terrifying. I'll tell you that.
No. This is creepy.
Next is going to be Guanapo.
Oh, where on the map are these?
Guanapo,
Do I get any
figures.
disadvantage staying on his?
Guanapo, do you have silence?
Don't currently have it right now.
Let me see. No, not yet.
I'm going to say, shut the
Wait,
cigar!
which one asked?
Shut
No, no, yeah.
Suspense
Okay,
screams louder than my mother's law.
Okay. Yeah, I'll cast silence on it.
Okay.
So a 20-foot radius
Of
over
the
it, so it
lions?
can't hear anything, and no
Okay.
sound can come out of it.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, why are you looking at me?
I'm
like
scared.
that?
Wait, can she attack?
No, that's her.
That's my spell.
That's your action. You have a bonus action
I
or
could get off the con.
move anything? Yeah,
Let me
anything
see,
you want to
let me
do?
see.
Unless you guys want to be Power Rangers and just
Power.
be morphed.
Dude, I fucking watched the OG. I watched the OG Power
Actually-
Rangers, and it is the fucking best. There's this one for whom the
Not
bell
like
trolls,
Boris.
where you see like the Megazord like stumbles backwards, and there's like an explosion off of it, and there's this like chubby ass Asian kid, Japanese I think it was, sitting behind one of the buildings, and the explosion goes off, and you watch his face go, ugh! But it's like Megazord, chubby kid. And it is just so, it confirmed so much about my childhood where I was like, that just looks like a regular dude in a suit to me. Oh, it was perfect.
Alright, yeah, that's it. Well,
Great.
actually, no, I'll hop off of him, and I'll,
Okay.
do you have it set up here at all? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, this is roughly,
Where is the enemy?
Yeah, where is it, the enemy?
oh, he's about 40 feet away from you.
We can't see it? Oh, we can't see it.
Well, you can see it. It's a giant, it's like a giant 6.5-foot lizard person.
Wasn't it on the
It's
map?
about
Yeah.
40 feet away from you.
Where's it on the map?
Guess we'll find out soon.
Wait. So
What?
So when we're in combat, it looks like the forest stands still.
The forest is
does it
not
feel like the forest-
moving entirely, no.
So it's not moving like it was before.
It's not like rotating or anything.
I'm actually not gonna get off of Connack. I'm gonna stay there.
Okay.
I
Perfect.
don't want us getting separated.
Okay. As Guanapo kind of grabs onto the collar of your cape, you feel him cast a spell past your head, and you watch as the forest around you just kind of like does this like pulsing blue energy, just poof, and you watch as the energy kind of coalesces in about a 20-foot space around this lizard. The lizard is going to take, excuse me, it stops screaming. The gorilla thing that you're facing is going to take 2 attacks against you. You watch as it reaches down and picks up these sharp, horrid-looking boulders and hurls them at you. And hits both times.
Wow, this feels like karma from some time of an island. Maybe another.
And you take 39 points of damage.
Maybe I threw rocks at you.
The last boulder impacts your body. You watch as this shadow leaps off the top of the back of the creature and kind of consumes the entire area around you. As you're shouting, you're like, God!
Oh god.
Oh,
You
that's
can't
why you were
speak.
smiling.
And you can't hear anything.
I am going to whisper to myself.
You cannot use any verbal spells.
Oh god.
But we don't know this.
Which
so
is
I
why
can't
you're
answer
40 feet away from each other.
that. Oh, we're fighting each other.
With my but we don't know that. With my 2 scimitars, I'm going to just take a full-blown sprint at this
Giant gorilla thing.
giant gorilla thing.
Okay. As you, what's your speed?
30.
So you can get about 10 feet away from it
Yeah.
in a dead sprint, or you can use your movement to close.
As
further
I'm running,
action.
when I get pretty close, I would like to stick one of my scimitars into my back and call upon my flame blade.
Does it have a verbal component to it?
Yeah, but
Flame
I've
blade?
walked the 30 feet.
It's focused on you.
I thought it was focused
it a-
on a 20-foot circle.
Is it a?
I will read it to you and you can tell me your interpretation. For the duration, no sound can be created within or pass through a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range. I don't know if that can be a moving point
What?
or that's up to you.
It doesn't say a creature or an object, so it would be a physical point in
just says
space.
point.
Okay, so then
Okay.
he moved out of it. Okay.
Fair. As you run and dart as fast as you can, taking your
only sees one
right
monkey?
scimitar. Yeah, you just see one terrifying. He sees one monkey. You guys see one lizard. You watch as it reaches across its body and rakes its hand backward. It erupts in green flames as it just seems to hold this almost bowling ball sized flame in its hand. It doesn't seem to burn it, and it doesn't seem phased. Fana, as you draw the sword through, what is it? It's a sack or across your body? I can't remember what it is. How does green flame blade work?
Oh no, I go right into one of my pockets and I
Okay.
do a little motion
Oh,
in
you
my
put-
pocket. It
you
might
put the
look like
scimitar
I'm
away.
yanking them.
Yeah.
You know. But I pull out a sword. Yeah.
So you
It's
put one
green.
scimitar away.
Yeah, exactly.
and pull out
It's
your
a load, take out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Exactly.
Got it.
As I'm just
Old
full
shell out,
blown
new
sprinting,
shell in.
going.
The creature, as it leaves its space, starts screeching horribly at you guys. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Top of the round.
Any chance we hear
Does,
any action?
does Fan, do we remember if Fan has anything magical on him?
Ability point.
The way he's presenting it, it's
11?
not what we would recognize, unfortunately.
No, but does he have...
You wouldn't even have the thought of
No, but
As
does
you
Fan have
sit,
any
like,
magical
one of my
items on him
friends,
at this
You
point?
start thinking about it, and you feel this
What about
creeping
objects?
sensation. It's
What
like somebody
objects does Fan have
putting their
on him?
fingers over your shoulders. You
What
feel
objects
this
does Fan have?
penetrating, long, sickly cold run down your
don't
chest,
actually.
and it starts to massage your
Honestly,
shoulders.
I don't.
You don't need friends. You have us. You have.
He wears a hat, right?
Good point.
Yeah,
I
he wears
guess.
his hat.
Good point.
Don't look. Why are you even in this forest?
Or his staff.
It's a good question. Good question.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna cast Locate Objects, and I'm gonna look for his staff.
Make a general intelligence check for me. And fuck, man, because it's your spell, I'll let you add your proficiency modifier. Proficiency bonus.
Which one is this?
So you're gonna do your intelligence, which is +1, plus your proficiency, which is +3. So roll a d20 +4.
What the frick is our proficiency? Like
Nat 20.
Well, you and your
being the only one that doesn't seem to succumb to this overwhelming malice that the forest is presenting. You have this, as you start to draw back your bow in a defensive, like, I'm gonna put this thing down. Fuck, where the fuck is Fan? And as you say Fan, the magic just kind of courses through you and it swings out and upward. And you can see through the mirage, through the magic, on the backside of this lizard is a very familiar staff that belongs to Fan. But looking at it, you can't see the staff, but you know it's there. You know it's there. And it's rushing at you very quickly.
So I'm gonna look at Guanapo. I'm gonna say, put down your weapons. So we're gonna look at the lizard and say, we are not here to fight. We're just gonna put our weapons down. We'll just undraw, but keep them in our hands.
Okay. Guanapo?
And back up. We start to back up.
Connack, without explaining much, says, don't shoot, and starts backing up away from the creature.
Why?
The staff of the elephant is on the back of the Loxodon. Just back up. Keep your weapons in your hand and
I could
put
go.
yourself in reverse.
Yeah.
You need a
Oh.
All of my own shows.
You might make me roll an intelligence check on this too. Can I disguise self as Fan?
As Fan? Yeah, I mean, if you'd like to use that for your action, absolutely.
There's a mirage. You know, it doesn't, the way that he's explaining it is that it doesn't.
Use that
Hey.
She can really draw quick though.
What?
Yeah, but we've already established that Guanapo makes an exceptional baby fan.
Guanapo, yeah.
I feel like I need to eat again. I'm hungry.
I'm gonna have time for that.
Dude.
Okay, I'm gonna cast rope trick. I'm gonna open up my skybox. And
You're gonna go in it? I'm just gonna back up. I'm not gonna follow.
You feel Guanapo's clawed foot push off your shoulder
I'm gonna try and
as
wing
the
you up.
rope
I want you to go
kind
with me.
of like shoots up into the sky. You start hand over fisting your way
I'm gonna
in.
grab her foot. I'm gonna say,
Yes.
no. The Loxodon is the lizard. If you leave, we're going to get split up. And I'm going to grab it. I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to look up and say, I'm not coming with you.
Make a
If we
strength
get
check.
split up. I'm not trying to pull her down. I'm just holding her
Just
foot.
to see if you can catch her. Him.
No.
Make a dexterity check. for me.
Shizzin. Shizzle, shizzle. My strength.
Guanapo. Make a dexterity check.
Yeah, dude. I probably just fucking tapped her foot and was like, what's up? Definitely did nothing.
9.
What'd you get?
9.
I think my strength is a -1. It's either a 2 or a 4.
I know.
I'm
Yeah,
not-
9.
Yeah.
Guanapo, in just like the furiousness of like, fuck Fan for leaving us. Like, motherfucker always does this shit. Like, all the fucking time. Just disappears. Fuck that guy. And you feel Connack kind of reach up towards you. And it's that like bitterness of like, I don't want anyone's help right now. No matter what you say, you're wrong. And you just kind of kick back at his hand. And you just feel as his clawed foot kind of bats your hand away, you watch the tail feathers
Really, 10
disappear
episodes
inside the box.
Or 11.
Right.
As you're rushing,
Not counting Fan's
you
turn.
watch the shadowy nature of this creature kind of start to, what's that term in cellular biology where like cells split? They start to get that furrow across the middle. You watch as the ape furrows
Cellular.
and just boop, and part of it just kind of leaps up
Where's
in
my
this.
tosis and myosis?
Yes, I was thinking
It's
my
furrow.
I was thinking
Phase.
mitosis.
Yeah.
You're thinking of a very specific phase
Metaphase,
of it.
anaphase,
Halitosis.
prophase.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah,
it's
starting
a
to
furrow.
split
It's
like
a
an
furrow.
egg, yeah.
I'll tell you that. I know it off the top of my head. It's a furrow. You watch as the ape kind of like skinnies up at one point, and the top pops off, and in this shadowy like disgusting, like watching a grilled cheese be pulled apart. You watch the strands of the shadow kind of hold onto each other, and for a second it looks like they're going to reconnect, and then it just splits and the top part disappears. You're now staring at what looks to be a headless chestless, what was an 11-foot ape and is now probably about 6 feet. It doesn't even look like it has arms. It's disgusting.
I'm gonna turn and run.
Great.
That's creepy as shit. I would just like to turn around and run my 30 feet.
Okay.
And my other 30 feet, because that's fucking sketch.
I'm running after it, and I'm gonna yell up one time like, Guanapo, you need to follow me.
Well, can he run right now, or does he have to wait?
That's actually top of the round. It's his turn.
Okay.
I'm
I still see this.
I'm gonna run, and I'm gonna say, that's spam.
Okay. You
Okay.
just dash 60 feet away from you.
He dashed 60.
60 feet.
He can dash 60 as a Luxodon.
As
Dash,
his
not
action.
run.
That
You
means
can
dash.
So
you
he
can
used
dash
his
too.
movement, his full 30, and then he chose to dash as an action.
You can
I'm
dash
doing
too.
the same thing, and I'm literally gonna look up, and I'm gonna scream, Guanapo, please follow.
What's your speed? This is fabulous. This is everything I ever wanted.
Yes.
What's your speed? Actually, I know your speed. You're 30 feet, so you get close to him. You stay about the same distance away. Fan, as you start running, you hear the thunderous booming of this heavy creature behind you. You look, and you can see just a torso chasing you. Every step leaving these inky black footprints. Monica, what are you doing?
Guanapo does not want to be alone, no matter how angry he is, so he just kind of and slides back down to his box.
Is it an action to get out of your box?
I don't think so. Let me double check.
Can't I just fly off the coop? Can't I just fly off that coop, you know what I mean? Just like give a quick little...
I
Have you ever
mean,
seen BMS? BMS?
brand new. No.
No, it doesn't take an action to do it. So I'm just gonna drop out.
And you see the curtains of Connack. There's this moment of panic as you can see there's a tree that they're running past that will soon block your line of sight.
I'm gonna dash after them as well.
That's my favorite.
What's your
stuff. There's
speed?
so many
30.
good parts in that movie.
You get to, he was about the same, so you would be pretty much on his ass.
You're gonna see the blood.
So, as you're running, it is doom, 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 and you just see the legs just behind you, and you're like, oh fuck, and you turn and look, and you can see coming from another angle is the head, and they're chasing you, roaring, just this bellowing like. You guys are watching this lizard dash as fast as it fucking can. It is climbing over things. It is nimble. It's basically parkour. What do you want to do?
Run and scream. What the
Seven.
fuck's happening? I'm alive. I'm gonna start sticking it out of trees. I'm gonna just fucking like anything I can to dodge.
Okay.
I'm gonna spawn my next tree and I'm gonna take a quick right and
Make
fucking
a
start dodging.
Constitution saving throw for me.
Nat 20 plus 4.
Your lungs have never been in better shape, and the adrenaline and the fear of trying to outrun this bifurcated, horrid shadow gorilla has every neuron firing in optimal function.
While I'm running, I'm gonna put away my scimitar and I'm gonna take out my staff and I'm gonna use it to just fucking like jump over shit and fucking run with it. It's not my tool to escape.
The best pole vault you could ever ask for is you just like, and you are leaping and running and dodging. Go ahead and make your Constitution save for me.
Just Connor.
Just Connor.
At advantage, 'cause this is my favorite terrain.
He is in
Of course
forest.
not, right? 'Cause I'm
Helps you
a-
find things.
I'm the guy.
It's my favorite
And
land.
you survive.
Oof, what was the toss for?
Constitution save. Your con save is +5, so
Constitution.
I have you guys all up right now.
My Constitution says +2.
yes, but your save, you're proficient with it because of your time in the box. That's what it was.
I don't
in the
understand.
egg.
How would I know to add that?
So if you go, you're looking at your skills.
Yeah.
If you go below that, you should have saves. So there's a difference between a check and a save.
No, mine doesn't say
That's
that.
not
Mine
what I
literally
got.
just says abilities and saves. Mine says Constitution
Right there,
plus
see?
6. Yeah, so oh, so plus 5. Okay, so 7. And 2
The lizard starts to put a little bit of room on it. As it leads out about 20 feet, you're watching it, and there's this moment of frustration where you're like, fuck that motherfucking goddamn lizard elephant and his goddamn nimble feet. As he pulls ahead of you about 30 feet. Guanapo, make a Constitution save for me.
14.
14. You start making it past Connack, chasing the lizard. You heard him say something about Fan, and he looks like he's chasing something without malice in his heart, and you start to wonder, is that Fan? You're going to tell him to check for me.
So now that I heard you explain saving throws, which one would I use then?
So, a con saving throw
This is
is
just a
below down there.
Okay.
This is a regular intelligence check. I love this fucking stick. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
15.
You're welcome.
15. You watch as the lizard kind of takes its tail and like pushes down. There's this moment of distortion as you see, like for just a split second, you can see the back end of Finn, and you have this like, through all the anger and all the frustration, there's this pang of like, God, I miss him. And as soon as it comes, it goes, and you just see the lizard again, and you're kind of left with this longing confusion.
I miss you too.
Does anybody have any intention of attacking at this point?
No.
It's pretty much a rat race.
You're running for your life. You two seem to know that it's Fan at this point.
I just want to know that everyone to know that 7-Eleven to get it delivered would take 35 minutes.
You can order from
What
7-Eleven.
are you getting from 7-Eleven?
I would.
No, just want to
Hey.
burn.
Yeah.
What that was a fun fact.
What would you even
Gas
get from
station
there?
hot dog.
Hell yeah!
Slurpee?
No.
Alright, so I'm gonna do one last thing, I guess, before you do whatever you do. And I'm gonna yell, Fan, stop.
Can you Uber Eats
You
cigarettes?
hear this bellowing, echoing,
No, it has to be nice.
horrendous. It's not Uber Eats, it's DoorDash.
Okay.
DoorDash.
Anyways.
You hear this
Didn't mean to interrupt.
horrendous cry
We don't order
from,
food online.
and it's coming from the legs. It sounds like this
I've never done it.
moaning, aching, breaking,
Oh, yeah.
crepitous sound of like bones grinding together, mixed with like this long, drawn-out note. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Jesus. 7. I was gonna say that the next tree I find, I would like to take a turn around it, turn into a lizard, and just kind of like glue myself to the sudden tree I can't see.
I had me breathing.
You
You sort of like,
run around. You run around this tree. As you leap up, you turn into a lizard and find perch. And as you're sitting there, you kind of this horrible sense of like you start thinking of Joanne and how like you're on this quest for Joanne, and man, Joanne's hot, dude. Joanne's the best.
I sure
And as you're
love
sitting there,
Joanne.
like holding on to the tree, breathing heavily, just you hear the, and you see Guanapo and Connack running straight past you.
I'm going to try to jump on Guanapo's shoulder.
Ugh.
Make a
I'm just like,
And that's how Guanapo died.
make a dexterity saving throw for him.
Oh, he's a lizard.
Or just a general dexterity.
Dexterity.
No. Go ahead and make it
As a
acrobatics.
lizard.
it's not against a big tree just hiding.
Right.
It's just halfway up.
So wait, did we lose the lizard?
Yeah, as you guys are running, you see it turn a corner around one of the trees, and it's gone.
What an asshole.
You said a dex?
Acrobatics. There's a check for that.
Does a lizard have different acrobatics than
The lizard doesn't have.
It would just be your dex modifier then. If it doesn't have a skill for it, it just has a dex.
12?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, easy enough. Guanapo is hustling and looks frustrated. You see, as he gets about 10 feet away from you, the look of anger and consternation as he's running just kind of fades. And there's this moment of like, what? And you just,
right on the shoulder, just like.
Marco, as you're standing there, like, the anger's gone. This is an unusual feeling. You've not felt this feeling before. What is this? This is really... God, you might want to go find a tree to sit in and think about this for a while.
And I'm gonna go up to Guanapo's
As this
face
lizard
and,
just
like,
goes...
hug his beak, and just kind of like,
Wait, as a lizard?
yeah.
This lizard just lands on your shoulder.
Okay, you
with
both said
sudden
different
force.
things. So
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened?
I just said
So
when
the
I'm
lizard
top of
lands
you.
on you,
Yeah.
and as it lands on you, looking at it, you kind of shirk back for a second, and it gets up on top of your beak and wraps all 4 of its limbs around you and gives you like the biggest fucking puppy dog eyes.
So just kind of looks at it for a
I'm gonna
minute.
take my bow out. I'm just kidding.
Sharpshooter, man, you can take that thing right off.
Oh my
It's like the apple on top of the head.
Right?
Guanapo's gonna kind of look at it for a minute with his like, well, he's right here, right? His eyes, he's a bird.
Yeah, it would be
Kind of
like,
like trying to get a good like look at it, and I'm just gonna kind of pat the head just like this and say, "Ha, I am."
And I'll just kind of pat her. The beak.
Ah! Just imagine this lizard,
as
man.
you, do a wisdom saving throw for me.
Well, it's not.
We're in a bamboo forest
We
now.
need to get a
Heck yeah.
fucking iPad. This is ridiculous.
Dude, you should have told me to bring mine. I would have given
It's
it
not
to you.
your fault.
No, but like I could let you borrow it.
What is it? Wisdom?
Wisdom.
Saving throw, so it's gonna be 14.
Okay. You, as you're standing there, watching this transaction happen between this bird and this lizard, typically mortal enemies, in this moment, they seem to be good friends, and you hear Guanapo go, "Ha, fan." There's this rush that washes over you. Familiar from your past, something you've not felt for many, many years. And as it kind of tries to penetrate and anchor down into you, you just kind of laugh and like that's way behind me, bro. And you just kind of step to the right and the feeling leaves. You managed to resist it. Did Jen have you do a wisdom saving throw? Here, I'm pretty sure I did. But I can't remember.
I thought
I
you
think
did
Wisdom
you-
save?
Chris do one.
Chris do
I
one?
rolled a 15 for something. I
Can't remember.
don't know.
How do we feel about doing one more, just for
I
shits and
don't think
gigs?
it was a safe throw you had to do though.
I don't think I did a
Just
wisdom
so we
So what
save.
is it? What,
I
what,
did a wisdom
Once
save.
more, boy.
what is it?
Wisdom.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
Yours was as soon as you crossed the threshold. I knew that.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I think I did more for.
9.
Yeah, no, the feeling of needing to go up in a tree by yourself is not leaving. It is not leaving at all. But you stay rooted, and you know the remorse and the sorrow of like being mad at Fan comes back to you. You three are back together again. Fan, you're a lizard. As you guys start making your way through the forest a little deeper, penetrating just a little bit farther, trying to reach like the
button of the world.
cervix, if you will, of this forest.
Damn, what the fuck?
Yeah, we
He
will-
said penetrating.
penetrating.
No? The cervix?
Yeah. Anyways,
Go on, too far.
my
No,
kids, yeah, my
okay.
kids
I'm
are
really
like,
girl, but that doesn't sound great.
That sounds great.
No.
Get a little too much there.
Force
Too
doesn't
far
like it
in.
either.
What
I
about
mean,
your
good for you, but
my kids are watching.
Kids and cervix?
Oh, are they watching today?
kids, Google
Space
search.
nectar!
They're there.
I was about to do
Hi.
sandstorm, but that's not
Hi,
face
Dad.
nectar.
Google cervix.
Let's not.
Alright.
They don't even know how to use a
We'll do
computer.
one more.
Anyways,
That you know of.
The boink.
that was awkward. They know how to get to
Wanna try
YouTube
mine?
and
Yeah.
find
Maybe a
dumb
fern
YouTube shit.
password.
Anyways,
I got
you guys continue
I
to
got
force,
you, fam.
having relatively no problems. You stay together.
Some awful nightmares.
Yeah,
Shit.
you just have some like. You guys notice that Nebuntash seems a lot less talkative and a lot more removed and a little bit distant during this hike. What you guys want to do with that? It's yours.
Are you okay?
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
Did you eat a bad berry?
I'm fine.
Something like that.
You don't want to talk about it?
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm
We're
good.
willing to listen.
I'm just a little off-put being in this forest. It's just
You can ride on my back.
Yeah, I'll let you ride on Odette.
that's okay. I appreciate it. I really do, but no, thank you. I'm fine. How are you?
We're great,
We're
thanks.
good, thank you.
Good.
Other than being in this fucking forest, it's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I feel like we're never gonna get out, so
Seriously.
whatever.
Yeah, this forest is very unsettling to me.
All we can do is try. So
Shit, why do you do that, Luna? Oh god, she's so dark I couldn't
An
see her.
insect came up her.
Chris under there again?
That's right.
Chris, quit goosing Zoe.
Yeah, my bad.
My bad. You guys, as you're talking, you're keeping track of where you're going, where you've been. Looking behind you, the way that is immediately behind you is not the way that you came from. The way that you came from is actually more like back into your right.
I feel like at this point that doesn't really unsettle me as much.
No, it's pretty, it feels okay.
Par for the course.
You're comfortable with it. Following these symbols that are kind of drawn into the knots of the root systems, you guys walk ahead about another 10 feet before a new row of trees appears to your left, and you can see a pair of boots sticking up from between, like it's literally just enough. It looks like whatever it is, there's the tree trunk and then a large root that kind of arcs into the ground, and just past the end of that arc, you can see a pair of boots that you're not really able to see the front of.
We're like the hobbits and there's ring wraiths. Is that
Do
what
I-
I'm getting here?
Do I know that we're still heading in the right direction?
Roughly, yeah.
Okay. Don't get distracted. Onward.
I'm gonna say.
Forget the boots.
Wait.
No. It's a
Alright,
trap.
let's forget the boots.
It's a trap.
Can we go quietly?
Yeah, let's.
It could be a trap, I agree.
Yeah, stealthily.
Yeah, we're gonna keep on the same path and just ignore
Try
that.
to careful with the boots.
Like when you're in a bad neighborhood, you're rolling.
Wow.
We'll lock the doors.
Okay.
What are you interpreting there?
Make a. I'd say you're the most curious. Make an perception check for me.
It's true.
As you walk past the area, kind of like taking a moment to like linger by one of the trees and look, you can see now the side of the face, the side of the body. It's like the profile of the body. This looks like a very familiar person to you. And as you kind of see, the head is kind of lulled to one side, and there's like the swelling of dead tissues and fluid starting to leak out. It's very gross looking. This is the man who fell from Quindeth, and you saved him.
Oh! Okay. You say flesh? Just rub some with the flesh.
Looks
Blood
like-
flesh?
Looks like he's dead.
Do you
Luca,
notice the boots, man?
Luca, let's go.
Keep going.
Yeah,
let's
keep
going.
going.
Let's
I'll
just.
tell you later.
I don't like the new line of trees. We know where we're going. I'm very positive that I know where I'm
Let's
going.
just continue.
Dead? Huh. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
no.
Quietly.
Nothing you can do.
Who's dead? What are you talking about?
The man that we saved.
No, shh.
Let's leave.
The man that we saved.
As you guys kind of all like are looking back, you turn and look, and standing in front of you is a massive 15-foot cyclops who's standing there going like,
Comprehend languages.
come on, hit me, you know the drill. They won't let you in unless, I mean, I don't want to get fired, you don't want to have
I
problems.
take my rapier
I think I
and I go,
understand now.
And you just slash right across his palm. He's like, thank you. And he starts turning and walking away.
I think I understand now. We're back in Quindeth.
Yep, that's good,
Let's
guys.
go.
Let's go.
As you start
Are we
walking,
though?
you see a very familiar.
I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna disguise self back into Jeremiah.
Perfect.
Quickly.
Yeah,
Some
motherfuckers.
goddamn horseshit.
You roll high.
They had a really high rolls. You guys had
High
one high roll and one.
rollers.
I had
really weird.
We go
I had some pretty good ones.
find
Fan just sucks.
That's
you
what it is.
lead
Yeah,
us
Fan
to
ran away.
the
Fan really
Yeah,
did.
you see
Take
the
us back to
familiar.
the
There's the small
elevator that I can
grotto
go
where
on.
like
Yeah, we gotta
it
go
looks
to the
like
big elevator.
the sheriff lady, the one who leads the raids on travelers. She regularly cuts out this section of foliage so that light pours in over this stone, so she can like sunbathe. She's not there right now, and you know the way basically from here, and within a quick minute you're able to find a rope pulley to take you up if you want.
I'm gonna guide all of us to the big rope pulley so we can bring the horse lady up.
Okay. Finding the same mechanism, you go inside a hovel of one of the trees and release the brake. One of the trees kind of leans out a little bit, and you can hear this rumbling sound as a lot of the detritus that's on the forest floor starts to kind of rumble and shake outward, and a platform is lowered from the tree system, from the canopy.
I take out my bird paper and write,
Okay.
we're at Queen Death.
Queen Death.
Or Queen Death. Connack.
Okay.
Mike doesn't let anything get to me. So.
Also,
I
of the day,
haven't received unless anything.
you have received
You've
lots.
received my paper birds.
No.
They annoyed you.
They know you.
They weren't for me. They were for Lucas.
One of them was for you. One of them was for Lucas.
Which one showed up? Nebuntash,
All of them showed
please
up.
use the.
His showed up. Yours showed up. And you recommended that Lucas burn them because they were annoying.
Oh, yeah!
It just fucking swung around your head. I came
this
to a
one.
conclusion. 100
Please.
gold worth of diamond dust and 1 feather. So 100 total for 10 pages. So I guess it's 10 diamond dust per page and 1 feather per page. And it can be any kind of parchment. And you know that it takes you about an hour to make 6.
Diamond dust?
Diamond dust.
So per
10.
page
Where the
is
fuck am I supposed to find
one
diamond
feather
dust?
and
You
diamond
found it
dust.
before. Where you're from, not that hard to find. There are jewelers everywhere. You can
She's
find
like-
a
she's like a
jeweler's
pig
kit
looking
and
for,
just fucking,
So
Truffles,
what?
truffles.
One diamond dust and a feather?
10
10.
gold worth of diamond dust and 1 feather
Oh.
per page. And it takes you about 6 minutes to do 1 page.
Okay.
Is this for the birds?
Yeah.
I felt like you've been using it quite a bit. That, I mean, really 6 minutes. We like maybe 4 or 5.
Well, I had 20
No.
to start.
She can just, once she has the pages, she can just write a message, fold it up, and it's gone.
Oh,
But
to
in order
prep
to
the book.
make it,
Got it. So it's
in
like
order
a
to make
one-time
that
thing.
portfolio,
Not
she
every
has
single
to
time where she's
spend.
meticulously folding a piece of paper. Got it. Cool. Never mind.
It's basically origami moves. As you guys step onto the platform, you release the brake again, and you feel the platform shudder and start to rise. You three, sitting in the forest, 2 of you feeling overly compelled by certain animalistic instincts. One of you, not so much.
Heat? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah,
Damn.
they are horny.
As a lizard?
Even as a lizard, dude. You,
Okay.
Those lady lizards, you can hear them skittering through the trees. Damn. But Joanne's really the one, dude.
Okay.
Joanne's the one you want to save that lizard length for, you know.
I feel that. Yeah.
You feel like you could just turn into a snake and just
Ew.
No.
The gecko
Let
starts
Poke her in the cervix.
fucking
Poke her right in the
slapping against
cervix.
that beak.
it's like sandbags, dude.
It's like
The lizard's doing that body lifting
Yeah.
thing that they normally
It's like a
do.
lot-
Push-ups.
It's like a lot of going on.
Yeah, I'm just up
Gonna be
Just getting ready. As a lizard on Guanapo's shoulder, just cranking them out. Yeah. Don't even care where we're going.
Who's leading?
Not me.
Never Guanapo.
You're trying to find your way to Quindeth, if I'm not mistaken, unless your
We were
objective has
trying to-
changed.
We were trying to find a way to put that.
Was I the one that was pretty proficient? You said that I watched Lucas. Alright, so I'm gonna fucking lead.
Okay.
Because I'm
As
sick
you-
of these two.
Just having, like, they went from like total anger to like
Yeah, we're
total.
following you.
It's like hanging out with teenagers. Like 1 minute they're angry, 1 minute they're like, no, I just need to go to the bathroom for a minute.
Alright. So I'm gonna look back at them. Is Fan still in
You got any
lizard
spare
form?
socks?
Is Fan still in lizard form?
Yeah, I mean, unless he wants to leave out of it, he's still in
Okay.
it.
I'm gonna grab the rope from my pack
Okay.
and I'm going to tie it from my cape to something where there's enough slack where I'm not gonna lose these two.
Around Guanapo's waist.
Yeah.
Sure. Around
Waist to
one
waist,
foot.
man. Easy enough. You guys tie it off, and you feel confident the knots will hold, and nothing really bothers you.
I'm still a lizard.
You're still a lizard. You're watching Fan just pump iron, just consistent. Like at one point, you're like, man, he's got to be getting tired. Still going, still going. Go ahead and make a nature check for me with advantage because this is your preferred territory.
Thank God. For 5, that's going to be bad. Nature, I think it was plus.
Also, if you didn't mark down those 39 health points, you're still down.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, fucker.
Just wanna
I
let you
mean,
know.
DM.
Don't hate me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can I tell if he's injured?
For tricking
In his
caught each
current
other.
form, no, he looks
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
But you do know that you landed some good hits on him.
He landed some good hits.
Well, we don't know we landed hits on him, do we?
So unless you tell
I
me.
mean, you
We
know you
do.
shot the lizard, and the lizard was Fan.
Yeah, but as the lizard told me that he's been hurt.
I'm told shit. I'm a lizard.
It's different
Oh,
lizards.
lizard.
One was a lizard person. This is a
So at
just
this
a
point, I just
lizard.
want to get a Quinn death. I don't even care about
Yeah.
these two as
And
long
what
as
was
they're
your 19?
We're just like
Okay.
following.
Yeah, you start leading, and as you kind of you realize that maybe you haven't been traveling the most direct route to Quindeth, and thinking about like, okay, what did Lucas say? And you start reflecting on the small amount of time that you got to spend with him, and you realize that the further out you try to go from the epicenter of the forest, the worse the symptoms of the forest get. So you kind of turning, feeling like just letting your body relax and letting this kind of this infiltrating force just kind of wash over you for a second. Not enough to take hold, but enough to feel it, almost like a compass. You start turning your body in the area that it ebbs the most, the area that it feels like the pressure is the least. You start walking. After, I would say probably 2.5, 3 hours, you can hear the sound of a babbling brook. And it sounds like just river or water flowing over something. And you recognize this as one of the traps, one of the leftover magical properties of the forest from the wars. You know you're on the right path, and you continue for another 2.5 hours. Before too long, you feel the pressure of like something watching you or something trying to trap you lift. And there's this calm and this peace of just being in a regular fucking forest. And you guys feel it too as you make your way. You've gone through a couple escalating moments of like, I'm horny and I'm sad and I'm mad and I'm, you know,
Real roller coaster of emotions. Or
all over the
what's
place.
a roller coaster?
Sounds like the forest.
Yeah.
Emotional roller. Nobody knows that. That's just a me thing. Anyways, you feel the break. You guys both take a deep breath, and it seems like the ride has come to an end, and you have your brains back. Looking around, this is familiar territory. You're not far from Quindeth, and within 30 minutes you could make it there if you so chose. You guys getting up into the trees, finding the rope pulleys, you all three of you launch into the trees. You land right next to the cage that holds the mayor. The mayor, let's see, what is mayor?
Oh, crazy guy that's locked up. Yeah.
It's not crazy, I don't think.
What?
I don't think it's crazy.
Thought he was weird. When we talked to him, he was weird.
We didn't talk.
Okay.
Oh.
The mayor is
Ah.
a full-blooded orc, or the person
Yeah.
that's in the cage is a full-blooded orc.
What?
Tannish brown skin.
Yeah.
Probably about, if standing upright, probably about 7 to 7.5 feet tall.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Big guy, lots of tattoos.
Yeah.
It seems like both of his tusks were filed down or off recently. They look, based on the pain and the swelling that's on his face, it looks like it's happened pretty recently. He's blackened and bruised. He has some burns from what would be heat, some maybe from some chemicals.
Yeah.
And is just lying in loincloth and filth.
Gonapho's gonna scroll a message in Orc real quick and tear it out and like
Discreetly, bro. Discreetly.
hand it to him.
People
and
kill
ask,
us.
what happened to you, sir? That's not Orcish.
He kind of like reaches out for it, like a little cautiously at first, and takes it and looks at it, and in just a thick fucking Orcish accent, I was a dickon. I was the mayor of town. I know I want to be mayor of town. They make me mayor, and when I let them down, they put me in cage and torture me. You are not from Queen Death. Where are you from, Kenku?
I'm just gonna kind of, let's just keep moving. Keep moving. One I love you, but let's just go.
Yeah.
I
Probably
don't know
knows
if you
better
should
than to
start
pay
to-
attention to someone who's beaten and bruised.
Yeah. So
I'm not worried about.
I'm gonna
what's
try to
going
like
on.
grab you by the hand and like kind of walk you online like a kid,
Come
like
back to
trying
me.
to talk to Santa.
Come back. Always do.
Yeah, sorry, Guanapo. I think we should go. I don't.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize Fan was an elephant again.
Yeah, it's been 4 hours.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I just assumed.
I also assumed.
He just kind of looks back at him and is just like,
Just kind of, as you're walking away, or like it's like, sorry, like Dad's saying it's time to go. He just kind of, the orc leans into the cage and kind of lets his head rest against one of the bars. Between the swelling and purple of his right eye, you can barely make out a slit, but his left eye is clean and open and just stays on you.
I'm just
You
gonna walk
guys
off with
make
him.
your way through the trees. People are giving you shitty fucking looks. Every now and then somebody will like bump into you and like be like, "Hey, watch where you're going." There's a minotaur that's sitting in like an open tree shack kind of situation, and as you're walking by, kind of leans back in his chair and starts flipping a knife through the air and catching it, twirling between his fingers, flipping it, catching it, twirling between his fingers, and just watches you. Everybody seems to keep their eyes on you as you nervously make your way through the town. You end up at Lucas's hut. You open the door, and Lucas is in the middle of laughing his little that was a good one. And you see Nebuntash has this accomplished look on his face. Your compatriots are inside the hut. It's cramped, but it seems that they're drinking some sort of warm beverage.
Where
It
the
looks
hell have you
delicious.
guys been?
The fuck?
You guys did take your sweet time.
Seriously.
Oh, we got a little lost. I
So
mean,
better than the elephant is stupid.
Whoa.
Does Fan look damaged?
Fan looks unhealthy.
Fan, what the hell happened to you?
Yeah, I got attacked by, I don't even think it was you guys. I don't know. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
First of all,
It was like
you have no
There's
idea.
a
You
monkey
ran
thing.
and turned into a goddamn lizard and then jumped on us.
there was a monkey thing, right? And it like came at me and it threw something at me. I got hit by these rocks.
Did he throw your poo at you?
It silenced me. I ran at it. It split in two.
The poo?
No, the monkey.
Oh.
Literally.
Wait, where was the poo in this
Split
story?
in half. I watched these little like ghost tendril shadowy things kind of come off of it. And then it like landed. And then this thing was in half. And then I screamed like a little girl and hightailed it the fuck out of there.
But when did both the pots poo? I don't understand that.
Wait, what?
No, he just said they threw something at me.
Oh,
and
I thought you
"Did
said
throw
that they
your
pooed.
No, they threw rocks at me.
The elephant.
I'm a
I-
goddamn
I know I say
Lexodon.
Zaloxodon.
While they're talking, Gonko's just kind of rests a
And-
hand on his shoulder and amidst his church choir music and cast Cure Wounds.
There was some type of magic that
that's not
that
it.
showed us as enemies when we were standing in front of each other.
10.
I located the object. I could see the creature. It was a lizard. Had fans, staff on the back, so we were fighting each other without knowing.
I ran away. I turned into a lizard and hopped on a tree.
If I was
They
looking
came
at
by.
you, I would see you as somebody else.
I hopped on
But it
one
wasn't
and we
that.
went. I don't know.
That is the least surprising thing I've heard about that forest.
I got fucked up. Either way, I'm gonna just like.
We had a
Listen,
nice
I'm not
little-
gonna lie. I threw 2 great arrows right into you. I sunk the shit out of those things.
Yeah,
I'm very
yeah.
proud of the damage.
I mean, I was the size of a goddamn barn. I'm gonna take my staff and kind of like tap it on the ground twice, and you're gonna watch a couple beetles fall out, and I'm just gonna like start eating on them
Oh!
as I heal myself.
Gonko puts his hand out.
So Lucas,
Do you want
Hey.
one? 2, 3,
found
5?
some answers.
Heals?
Yes, to business. To business.
Right to
Oh.
business.
You don't even need to heal. I
Let's get
just
this
want to
over with.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll just like tap and get some like regular bugs for you. That's fine. Yeah,
You can go ahead and take 2 of those regular beetles from the vials out of your inventory.
yeah, definitely.
Wonderful, they're delicious. He always saves the best ones, especially the little green-filled kind. They're the best.
And I have a whole little box of.
Luca and I found a bar.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Worry Woman? Weary Woman?
Weary woman.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know who's from this area that isn't.
Well, it was blown to shit.
That's really unfortunate to
Yes.
hear. That's actually.
Gonko starts shaking his head no.
I mean,
Have you?
Nigel throws some serious parties. I
Oh.
tell you what.
So
Nigel
you're
was
aware-
blown to shit.
You like Nigel?
I mean,
How much did you like Nigel?
it's more of like.
Asshole.
He's a bad guy.
Let's just say
Before we all get crazy,
Lucas is
does Nigel have any influence on this town of thugs?
No. Nigel's just, he's more of a name than a person. And he throws elaborate festivities. Why? You guys seem to be
Your interactions
Not
with
liking
Nigel.
Gonko
minimal.
asks
Minimal.
Yeah.
What does Nigel look like? Yeah, see what does Nigel look like?
That's a really good question. I think he's like I mean, I always pictured him as like kind of like a more robust, like dwarven type, but like,
Have you ever met him before?
no, actually, never, no.
So I can tell you about this Nigel.
Yeah.
This Nigel.
You guys met Nigel?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You
met.
watch yourselves.
I mean,
met.
Did you go to
no, what?
I heard
Well-
the raves are insane.
No.
So what?
Nigel is not so good guy.
What does
Yeah.
Nigel normally like when people talk about Nigel? How do they talk about Nigel? What is that?
He's a prolific partier. He's like he's a
more
man
than
of the
a partner.
night. He's more than a partier.
So he's a loser.
I don't understand.
Yeah, he just runs a drug chain.
He was the one in charge of passing out all of the blue pills.
Oh,
I don't know about all of
Yeah,
them.
now that we've spilled that information, can we get we gotta go back to
Good fella.
wait.
Are you looking for Joanne?
No. We're here to help Lucas.
Yeah.
Lucas.
We
Yeah,
need
I
to know the
I
information
know.
we know.
I know.
So that's all you needed, right?
Yeah, he's
Well-
selling the blue pills that you were
you're saying that
accused of
Nigel was the one?
who fucked you, yeah.
And now it's time for us to go back to Joanne, like you promised.
Yeah.
And you guys can go wherever you want.
This
That's where you
force
need to go.
sucks.
But you-
Well, we promised Joanne we would help you out
Like
with
you
this.
promised then. I mean, I didn't make any
Yeah,
promises.
no. Yeah.
You said that after we cleared your name that you'd be willing to go with us.
Did I say that?
I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
think Joanne told us that we need to come out here to help you clear your name.
So I have to ask. And I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be. I'm grateful for the help that you. It sounds like you guys have been through quite some experiences, and frankly, I mean, even you, little one, you look a little bit more beefy than you did last time.
Guanapo shredded.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
the feathers that really obscure that. Got that short bicep, better peak.
Right.
That said,
And he kind of like leans to the side and pulls on his stomach. And there's a little bit of phlegm ball.
Okay.
So they think on the other side of this door that I'm killing people, and I just wonder if perhaps maybe you brought like evidence of what you're saying.
I mean,
Yes,
we got
I do have
a
evidence.
blue pill, right? You got the pills, right?
Can we hold him real quick? Are you over the seeing and the things?
20 years has passed, and yes, I've gone over.
Excellent. All right, I want to
20
Gollum this
years.
real quick and
Oh,
be like,
yeah,
my
yeah,
precious.
Yeah.
So,
Hard for me to forget, obviously not you.
Yeah, I mean, it was just yesterday.
What do you
Literally.
mean 20 years?
I'd
Yo.
rather not talk about it. You don't.
The Carney people that your friend is involved with kind of fucked him out of 20 years of his life by giving him 20 years of his life, but not really on this. Yeah, it was just like, I don't know. He looks older, doesn't he? I mean, look at
Yeah,
him.
no, you out of everybody, I think, looks the more robust.
Yeah. I think he's hitting on you.
No, I'm really sorry. That didn't come out right. You look like your physique has developed more than everybody else's.
if your
I think
body
that
was
it's
to be
really
named after a
wonderful
candy
that
bar,
stoma is pretty lewd.
Snicker. Thicker than
I don't think they heard what I said.
Thicker than
Isn't that
this.
weird?
Thicker.
His stoma is prelude
Ew.
because of the phlegm.
Okay.
Oh. Yes. So, two-part evidence for you.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Ledger of listed names with information of Nigel's whereabouts,
Fabulous.
doohickeys, and then two of the little, blue pills.
Wait, did I collect an ear? I think I collected an ear.
No.
He did.
Not
He collected
sure about
Nigel's
it.
ear.
I'm going to
I
smack
did.
his hand.
I'm not going to show it, but I just wanted to make sure I remembered that correctly. Don't
My
worry
keen
about
mind
that.
would remember that.
I have my collection of ears that you don't know about that I just said out loud.
Look at this.
If you don't remember, I'll give you a recap of what the DM just said. Everybody outside the
I
door
got
thinks
you.
that he's getting people killed.
Gotcha.
Would this help you?
This ledger may. Yeah. It's going to take me a little bit of time to decipher it, but this might be what we needed.
What language was it in again?
It was wasn't abyssal, was it?
Who are you talking about? What?
No, it wasn't abyssal. It was. I think it was a cipher. I think it's like his own system.
Oh, and by the way, Hagen might not be there anymore.
It's not just quite the same. They hate us.
No, it's.
They hate us because they ain't us.
We saw
You know
it
what I mean?
being destroyed,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh,
Remember that?
I mean, did we see it get destroyed? I didn't see it.
I didn't
You
see
saw
it
the creature
destroyed.
like destroying it, right?
No, that was the orange
You
part
guys
that you saw
didn't
when it
see
We didn't see
anything.
Right. Well, yeah, that's
You
what I'm
guys
trying
saw
to tell
a
you.
Yeah, you
mountainous
did.
orange thing.
We saw it.
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah,
only
you-
Fan.
Me and you, because we
Fan,
went back
as
to
you
the bar.
as
I
you were
thought it was
walking
me
up,
as I
you
was
saw
running
this
across
orange
somewhere.
cloud on the
Yeah,
horizon.
but I didn't know what it was. Or
And
No, you said
as
you
you
saw a
guys came
Cyclops.
back into the city,
Yes.
you guys saw
Right.
the Cyclops just like
I think they.
in like buildings and screaming and fire and smoke at it.
So, Hagen just might not be there anymore. So maybe your drug problem is solved. Yay!
Yeah, you got to side the other issues, I guess.
You know, when Joanne said that you guys were coming, she said that you guys were really good at like being discreet.
Yo, no one knows.
well,
Wait,
yeah.
whoa, what are you insinuating, sir?
We didn't.
But you were like the wind.
You have provided a
Tornado,
service
fast wind.
all the same.
Everybody who knew we were there died. So don't worry about it.
I made
They-
sure-
How
Oh,
many
fast.
people knew you were there?
Very few.
Almost all of them.
Very few.
There might be rumors about.
I was gonna say.
There might be rumors about Odette being
Listen, you know
pregnant.
it's a monkey friend, or is it whatever you think he is, dwarf, is a Nigel? I put 2 fucking arrows in between the bitch's head. Dead.
Yeah.
The day is dead.
He turned out to be quite the asshole.
Yeah.
There,
He
there.
did touch off about half
He
an
not only
eyebrow.
tried, he pretty much killed. He tried to kill all 6 at one time.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was brutal.
So listen, the only thing we ask is that you get us out of this forest. You know how to get us out of here as quickly as possible.
I can
If
take
you don't
you.
want to come, at this point, I don't give a shit.
I
want
can
out
take
of
you.
here.
I can take you.
I also recommend you potentially giving us a letter of some sort to give to Joanne, saying that the happenings and letting her know that you're still alive.
We have our own method of communication.
And you see he kind of reaches up and touches an earring.
Oh,
And,
what a
like-
bingo!
Is it an ass crystal?
Yeah.
It's just an earring. And he kind of touches it for a second, and then
He starts
right
rubbing his
side or
finger
left
against his
How do we get?
I believe
Clockwise means he's okay, counterclockwise means he's in
You've
danger.
had a lot of fun with
Seriously.
this.
I didn't tell you
Picture
I
that
just
very
thought about it.
vividly,
I love
like
it.
instantly.
I love it.
I got you, dude.
Counterclockwise.
If you,
Those
you know,
meant
just
for
want to make sure you're
short
okay,
stories,
so
not
tell
novels.
her that. And if you need us, holler at your sister.
But we
Yeah.
probably shouldn't go back to Hagen.
You need any
Mostly
help.
It's not there.
That's true. Don't go back to Hagen.
But
You
no,
need
I
any
think
help,
he can.
Joanne?
He can
Just hit up Joanne. Yeah,
Well,
Joanne.
I'll help you. I believe
We would like help.
payment was in order, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
you doing
that's
that?
Why are all the townspeople around here? Why do they give me dirty looks when I walk into this town?
Uh,
I mean, you're covered.
I mean, who's the only person you've really talked to in this town at this point?
I guess it is you.
And
Oh!
currently
By
I'm.
association!
I
By
mean,
default. Bad guy.
It's a good thing none of us talked to the mayor.
Why don't you come
Right.
back to where
Right.
is the town we're going with, Julian?
I'm an outlaw.
Right? I don't care if you're an outlaw, so am I. We
I'm an
all
outlaw among
when
the
we came
outlaws.
into the towns, they wanted to kill us.
Hey, let's not call me what you think that word means.
If any
What?
arm of the law were to catch
Outlaw.
me, I would probably be put to death immediately.
Can
This
you
is
fight?
Not probably like you can.
Do you want us to
Otherwise
be
I
here
would've-
while you go on trial? Like, how you want to play this out? Because
I mean, listen. Are you safer here than in a town where they give you justice?
I mean, I am a champion
It is
of,
it is
of
easier
fire.
for them to
This is like I
judge
ran
me
away from.
here
Headless
than it is to
monkey.
believe me. But
Observe.
with what you've given me, I think I can make them believe it.
So what can you do with this list?
Well, with a certain amount of time, I can already see one name here that I recognize.
I want to know what the list will do to freeze the name.
I think what this will do is provide evidence that I was not the one who
Evidence to who?
to the people of Quindeth.
So you want to stay here. We came here
This is
for
the
no reason. Your
safest-
sister wants you to return to honor the name so that
She
you can
always
come back.
wants me to return, but
He just needs to clear his name in his own town.
If he has communication
If you
with
wanna
his sister
clear
and
my
vice
name.
versa, I don't mind. Let it be.
if you want to clear my
Do you
name
want
and
to-
take me out of an outlaw status, you'll need to go to Cedar Gatling for that.
Who?
Cedar Gatling.
Isn't that your home?
This is
Sorry.
because they think that he is
Did
a
you
witch.
say-
This is the witch doctor.
Did you
They
say
write some sort
Cedar
of
Gatling?
document.
Yes. Here,
What was the
they thought I was
crimes?
poisoning me.
What was the crimes that they had you
I
for?
was wrongfully accused of the barbarous butchering of 4 children.
And what was the reason for the butchering? What did they say the reason was?
Malice, malcontent.
So you just killed the
Corruptness.
children.
That's what they
I
said.
don't understand. Was there some sort of contempt between some sort of drug or some sort of curing process or?
I was a doctor, but I particularly specialize in pediatrics. I deal with kids. And
Who else dealt with kids at that time in the town?
I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head.
Who
but there
hated
were
you in the
other-
town at the time?
I had a whole cohort. I don't know if anyone
How did they
comes to
die?
mind.
Why would they hate you for working
Yo,
with
can
kids?
I just
What-
get back to what are we doing here?
I don't know. I'm trying to be
All
as
right.
honest and forthcoming as
All
I
right,
can.
let's get out of this.
We helped you, right? You said something about a payment. Can I get that and can we leave?
We have to leave together.
Joanne is waiting.
We'll
He's very, very excited.
take.
Whoa. Whoa, did not
They're good
come out.
friends. They're
No.
good friends.
Oh, buddy.
Make it a section check.
Yeah, dude, Panda Express.
Thrown under the bus. Look, a bus is coming.
Chicken nugget?
You're a
So
champion. You can take him.
Gatling, CD Gatling.
I mean, true, but.
You're saying in order to clear your name.
That's a nat 20.
Yeah. Yeah, friends.
It's been a long time since she's had just a friend, and I'm glad.
Just a friend.
You're-
Definitely just a friend.
And business
Now
acquaintances.
you're making it
If
weird.
you want to go to
I
Charles,
can do whatever I want. I rolled a 20.
I
That's true.
believe they've raised a monument.
That is how that is played.
You could start there, maybe. But frankly, I've put that life behind me, and I'm much happier.
Alright, just rolled a 19 on persuasion with advantage because I have persuasion and deception or whatever. Let's go. I've just persuaded you to fucking let's leave this town.
Time out,
Get the
please.
fuck out of here.
He's just making his own rolls. I'm
He
rolling
was
perception.
ready to leave
Let's go.
when you
Let's
guys.
go.
I've been
We're
ready.
done. We're done. We're talking. We're
You
running
guys,
bullshit. He's not coming.
Wait.
We've gone
No,
up.
I'm not leaving.
Yes.
No, I mean he's not
Fine,
leaving
we're-
the edge of the
we're
forest,
gonna-
so we're done. We're done talking
Click
about
his
this.
name. We have to go to CD Gatlin.
Right? He said he's
So we're
not
not even
coming.
done with our job yet.
Will you go with that? Wait.
Let's
Okay.
talk
You guys
that's
are done
just-
with this job. If you want to clear
Let's
his
talk
name
this
as
out.
an outlaw,
Are you going to City of Gatlin with us?
no, he doesn't want to go see
Okay,
the cat.
then we're get the fuck out
He
of
wants
this
to
fucking
stay
forest.
here.
Let's go.
It's
But
the whisper.
Joanne told us to.
No,
No, we
his
did what
issue-
Joanne told us to do. You guys are trying to convince him to do more. We should just go about our day. What
Yeah,
are
need
we
to get the fuck
doing
out of
here?
this forest. We need to go.
If the man doesn't want to,
Right? Oh,
No.
brother?
and we helped. We
Yeah.
provided evidence to help him free his name.
Yeah.
He's going to pass that information along to Joanne.
Listen,
Saying that
we
he didn't
killed
kill
El
those
Japa.
kids.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we'll go about our
we
day.
killed the honcho of whatever we thought was. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
We
And I
need to
just
go
wanna
clear our name,
reassure you.
probably in our own town.
Yeah, that's what I'm
run
saying.
the training
All
in
of
the
a sudden
system when we
being
get
there,
back.
fucking town being
I
destroyed.
appreciate.
I just want to
That's
let
a
you
weird
know,
thing to reassure me about.
We're not going to take turns spitting in her mouth.
Yeah,
we
no,
won't do
he's-
that.
He
Jesus.
said good friends.
What's the
I
difference?
appreciate that you guys are such
Soft porn
quality
by
friends.
nothing.
Anyways,
He kind of opens the door and just like you see him grab his crossbow and he just kind of like and starts walking out. It has turned to a clouded afternoon.
Have we rested? Long rested?
No, I'm still.
We have not. Are we
suffering.
at a point of exhaustion?
No.
You guys are
We're good.
pushing up on the edge of your
It's
evening
day.
travels. The
All
sun
right,
is.
should we sleep here
It's
or should we
about
sleep in
an
the
hour
dome?
from
We'll
sunset,
see
from
what
what you can tell.
I would say it's about an hour from sunset.
All right,
From what I can tell.
so let's ask: should we sleep here or should we go in the forest and find somewhere to sleep?
I'm going to say we
That's
should sleep
entirely up
in.
to you.
No.
I don't think
The
there's
people-
quite enough room in my shack, and I don't think you'll find the warmest welcome here.
Yeah, let's go walk a few miles out and
Yeah, I'm good with camping.
camping.
Yeah, because the forest, like,
We're out of the scary
outside
forest.
of
We're out of
Death
this.
is normal.
We're out of that
The
weird.
world's
state.
end.
It seems like Quinn
We're done.
Death is in this like pocket, this like nice little.
Is it still surrounded by the
It's surrounded by the forest.
Yeah.
It's part of the forest, but this area just seems unaffected.
So it's like in the middle of the donut.
Well,
Okay, so
maybe not the
Surrounded.
middle.
if we
Eye of
try
the
to
storm?
go sleep in the forest,
Similar to the Eye of the Storm, but it's not. Quinn Death is not the center point of the forest.
either we go
Because
back
it's
into the
only-
magic
you
spooky
can't
forest, or we're
leave,
probably in
right?
range of the ogre that was
There's a problem.
super nice to us so far.
You said super nice.
No, he was evil.
Oh my gosh. We saw him bombarding through the forest. Almost like he
Yeah.
got to kill
Just
some
We
people.
gotta
Fight
fight the
him
shit out of him.
Many times. You ask him, he'll show you. We should probably not sleep.
Always his left hand, right?
No, scars all over the place.
Motherfucker is so lazy.
No, he's very
No, like
strong.
he scared the living bejeebies out of us. Let me tell you,
Make
I was
deception checks.
terrified.
My 20 doesn't stand.
What are we talking about?
He doesn't believe every word I
Oh, this
say
one.
with every
Not
cell in his body.
Sorry.
It's a new lie.
What do you want me to do?
It's a new lie. A deception.
Deception.
A, B, C, D.
7.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, Debbie, I was having such a hard time. 17. I'm sorry, you got a 7?
I don't really.
I had a 20 like 2 minutes ago. Okay, let's just talk about that one.
I mean, if you guys, sure. Whatever you say. He's fearsome, I'm sure.
He leads you out of the town, and as you guys start walking through, being seen with Lucas is a very different experience. Whereas before you were getting nasty looks, now you're getting nasty words. And people are throwing things. You can hear glass breaking. Somebody hurls a tomato at you. Being the biggest thing in the room.
If
Can I
someone
just-
hits her,
Can I
What's your
summon
armor
my?
class?
I'm about to hit someone with this whip.
The first word I hear, I'd like to summon my 2 bears to like literally one in front of us, one behind us as we march as like
I
a
want
fucking party.
caution here.
They're not fucking
Bears.
doing anything,
No,
but they're
now
fucking. They're
You
gonna.
realize this whole
We're
town.
separated. We are separated with place in
Highly-
between.
16 is what he got.
Oh, you're
The
fucking
tomato
dumb.
just splats. It's rotten and it's gross
I
across
take
the
my
side.
whip and
it
I
kinda
whip the
falls
side
down.
face of the person who threw it.
He's about 30 feet away
Oh,
from
you-
you.
okay.
As you guys start arming up and drawing out weapons and stuff, you see like there's this kind of like draw back, and then people kind of like, no, we can fucking take these.
Can I
people."
crouch somewhere where no one can see me real quick?
Lucas is just kind of like turns and looks at you and is like, just ignore it. Just ignore it. I'm used to this. I'm not offended. You don't need to stand up for me.
Yeah, let's just go.
Your bears should probably not be on the bridge at the same time as the rest of us. I just want to say that.
Yeah, that's fine. They can climb. Okay, I'll just have them
Sure.
hang on the trees.
Lucas leads you to the platform. In the process, you are accosted several times. As you are leading out, you can see about 60 feet away from you, hunched down in the cage. The cage is not very tall. It's probably only 3 feet tall, so he really doesn't have a whole lot of room to move. But kind of like squatting in this like Schmiegel type way, scratching part of his chest, you can see the yellow gleaming eye of this ogre just focused on you.
Wait, is he an ogre and an orc?
Orc.
Okay.
Do I notice
Snort.
this?
I would
Sure.
notice it.
Wait, does the eye look magical?
No.
Did you?
I mean,
Does
you
it
can
look
make
like the
it
yellow eye that I've seen?
Did you go and talk to him?
of the, no.
No.
Okay.
You were seen communicating with him.
You really shouldn't talk to him there.
Do you know the first rule I told you when you got here?
That's where we're gonna go on break. We're gonna empty our bladders. We're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna talk about
We're gonna do some
where people are going with their lives and what decisions we're making and
poor
things like that.
Let's attack the city of outlaws.
I will
You just touched my beautiful
bring you
white
guys back
space.
in about 10 minutes.
Do you
It's
put anything?
8:17.
Deep.
We'll see you at 8:27. Thanks, guys.
That's literally.
In her life, she had 11 toes. Then she ate one. Her name is Christy. She'll be painting art.
Dude, I'm a huge fan of the idea that
Two.
whatever we're saying might get caught on camera,
One.
just so that we can start on time. Just want to put it out there. I am a big fan of reloads, by the way. Por favor, may I please? I
You
will
could
roll
have
for
done
reload.
like while we were.
I know. Welcome back. I'm Mike Steiger. This is the Wooden Skilled. We're a little late. Sorry. Before break, you guys had gone through the forest. Some of you experiencing kind of a rather lovely nature walk. The others, yeah, it was bad. Fought some things, saw some things, felt some things. You guys made your way to Quindeth, met up with Lucas. He has given you some sort of acknowledgement that you will be paid. There were some potential slights thrown around the cabin, and as he left, more slights from the population of Quindeth. You guys hear the platform start to shudder and shake downwards as this raucous laughter comes from one area. You're not sure if it's directed at you or if it's maybe something else. Lucas looks a little off-put, but not out of his comfort zone. Platform comes to a rest, you step off, and Lucas, looking at all of you, nods in a direction, doesn't say much anything, and starts walking off.
Like trying to get
Just
away from
ditching
us?
No, like, it was like this way.
Oh, so we
Oh, I thought it was leaving us. I'm like, all right, bye.
Following him then.
No, we're not allowed to say okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
That's the last thing we're doing. The bard and the fucking horse can stay behind if they want to just chill.
What?
Hey, we did good
Fuck
detective
you.
work last time, so.
No, you did it. You made us kill an entire town and have a cyclops destroy it as we
Absolutely
run
not.
away from the
You would have
carnies
found the bad
who know
boy.
everybody.
You
because they
wouldn't even
sell
knew about
drugs.
Nigel if it wasn't for us.
No, I.
We
No,
the
no.
whole team on this shoulder.
No, you guys left us
shoulder.
again. Once again, had left us
And
without
we're
telling
back,
us
aren't we?
where we were until I found my little gnomish girlfriend. Who I don't even know if she's dead or alive. She's got to be alive. I'm sure I'm gonna meet up with her somewhere.
Well, it's a different reality. So.
That's true.
Not
Not necessarily true.
The disrespect.
Anyways,
So you made a girlfriend over in Hagen then, huh?
This is no girlfriend. This is.
His wife. My
I
wife.
bet this is the egg, right? You ever been with Zacanis? I'm sure you've seen Zacanis, right?
Yeah, I've
You
seen
see
it. I
the
don't know
egg
what
as
it
they throw
does.
people around and then it tosses you years and years, shows you a life. It can show you 5 minutes, 400 years. I don't fucking know how long this thing goes. But
That's a serious risk. If
one
It's
of
not.
the
Right.
girls
Waiver.
that I was
No
with
waiver.
after the egg was a bartender in the town.
Oh, wow.
And she led us to the two buffoons that got us into all
You
the
said
trouble.
Hagen was destroyed by another Cyclops, correct?
That is correct.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
that's-
on the way out
you said that.
on the way out we saw there was commotion.
That is correct.
There was commotion from
That is
us,
correct.
right? Obviously, the
No
room
one
explodes
explains us.
because the monkey tries to escape. I see the monkey. I say, I don't think so. So fuck you. He tried to kill his friends. Took a bunch of. They were very hurt after the explosion, so I killed the monkey. We needed to get out, right? Everyone thinks that we're hostile, but in truth, it's
Are we trying to leave at this point? Well, you're still
guys are walking.
talking.
We're still walking.
Okay.
We're walking and
Walking.
talking.
Walking.
Walking.
I'm just
Are we
saying.
threatened
So
by
I just say
anyone?
the monkey.
I think we're out.
The monkey tried to hurt them because he figured out that we knew what he was doing,
No.
and
Very persuasive.
Hmm?
I was very persuasive.
right. I mean, but he tried to blow them up because he knew that he was in danger, so he tried to get out. Whatever. We kill him. The town, of course, is pissed because they have no idea what's going on, right? Half the town probably doesn't even know that this monkey is dealing drugs, right? So why wouldn't they be upset?
Yeah.
So then, who do you think comes after us?
He's being weird.
Who?
It just seems like he's listening.
No.
I mean, you can make an insight check.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'll let her make the inside check first, and then I'll continue to run on.
No, I'm very interested in what you have to say.
now.
20, not natural.
He seems like he is maybe a little distant, a little nervous hearing all this information.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem
Real nervous.
doesn't seem disturbed in it so much as like it's not that he's disturbed that it happened. He's disturbed that it sounds like you guys are the cause of Hagen's downfall. Lovely.
So you guys said you saw a Cyclops?
Yeah, I'd be super interested in that. Well, I was just gonna say I hope your girlfriend made it out as well. Your wife.
That's new.
Blanco's
I
gonna
don't
touch
care.
Lucas's shoulder and write, "Are we making you nervous?"
A little. Yeah, I'm gonna be perfect. You, a lot. You guys are a little weird, and I'm not sure how you know my sister, but this is all very foreign to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of spots missing in the story that paints a better picture for us. But I mean, just for fun's sake.
It sounds like you guys walked in to this town, murdered a couple of the citizens, stole some of their stuff, burned the town to the ground, made a Cyclops appear to destroy what was left of it, and then brought it.
You
That
think
pretty much sums it up.
you think that Beacon summons a Cyclops?
I'm not saying you
Jesus
summoned
Christ.
him out of pure
Listen,
will, but
we took the monkey with the drugs, right? Everybody has this problem all around the world that nobody wants the drugs to travel. So we kills the assholes that's distributing in one town. And we're the bad guy because the town
I'm not
implodes on
saying
itself
you're the-
because they trust this asshole.
I'm not saying you're a
Listen,
bad guy. I'm just saying
all I
it's
want
a
to do is get out of this fucking
series of events, if you will.
Connack?
It's a series of events, of course. It's always a series, just like you, right? Were you put in a series of events?
Exactly. And you
Yes.
know,
Okay. So as much as I think that I'm nervous around you because you're going to poison me, it's the same things that you're having with this town, right? But I trust you.
I should hope that you don't worry that I'm going to poison you.
You poisoned.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm
It's the same exact thing. A whole town hates you for some things that you never did, right? Or
Yeah.
that I believe that you never did.
That's true.
Hey, Connack, can I show you something?
Yes, you can show me whatever you'd like.
I want to turn myself into the elf that I saw leaving the bar, the wood elf,
In what bar?
the weary woman that me and Odette saw. I turned into the elf. Do you recognize me? This elf?
That's something that Mike would have to tell me.
He was a wood elf and he had an accent similar to
Rugia.
his.
Huh?
It's Rugia. It's one of your
Kill Bill music
former-
starts playing.
Oh shit.
former co-conspirators.
Fun of 12 more. That is destined to be
I
nothing.
killed all our occasions.
So, did see
You just not make that
I
connection.
could
Said
hear it.
elf.
I heard it.
in Quinda, not Quinda, Hagen.
See it and repeat.
Leaving the bar of Nigel. I should have told you sooner. I kind of forgot about it.
So, from what we know about the other elf, the Cyclops was probably called, I would assume, by the, I don't know what they are now. It sounds like they're banded, but they're disbanded. They are spread across the land. If I had to guess, there's no other reasons the Cyclops would show up.
Did we recognize the
Unless-
Cyclops? Was it the
unless it-
same?
Same skin color,
Not the same. Exact.
very different sizes.
Okay.
I appreciate you showing me we are going the opposite direction, but I guarantee that the elf leaving probably had something to do with the Cyclops showing up. Because they knew that there was trouble.
I agree. I think they knew that we had busted their operation and they were destroying evidence.
Cool, I'm gonna change back.
As you guys come to this interesting revelation, you find that Lucas has stopped. He's listening, but he's stopped. And you guys kind of all gather around him. The sound of a creek has infiltrated your ears. Water rushing over rocks. Lucas seems completely undisturbed. And he kind of beckons, and you see another one of these low-lying pits. It seems like
Are we still up in
Every-
death or are we on the ground now?
you're on the ground. You've been walking for quite
Okay.
some time at this point.
Okay.
The night has started to take over the forest. You can see every now and then there's an owl or some sort of creature. Lucas is very careful about when he walks, and he has taken some zigzagging patterns, stopped for a minute, gone another direction, backtracked one time, but he seems to know where he's going. And following him, You guys don't feel like you're not, like he's leading you astray or anything. He stops at the top of this hill and he shows you another, what you're starting to develop in your mind is like a crater. Because at the center of this crater is a large boulder, similar to 2 others that you've seen at least at this point. Actually, I think you have seen this boulder before. This one is gilded. It is giving off a soft golden glow. It is lying in the middle of what appears to be some sort of lake. Maybe you didn't see it. Maybe you heard about it.
It was like the lake of like many good things.
Yes, this is temptation. And as you guys are standing here, it kind of washes over you this like, how many riches must be in there? As you look at it, there's a small opening in the cave mouth. And it just is this overwhelming sense of like, there has to be so much shit in there. Lucas, seeing the look in your guys' eyes, kind of like puts his hands up and is like, just stay here for a moment, if you would. And you see him kind of walk out to the left side of the lake, and he starts hopping across small stones that are sticking out of the water. And you see there's a moment where he almost slips, and he kind of catches himself, and he makes his way to the central island, where the water kind of recedes out around this boulder. He slips inside, and 5 minutes goes by, 10 minutes goes by, 15 minutes.
Are we worried?
I kind of want to go down to that boulder.
I mean,
Should 2 of you go? I don't know if I could hop across those boulders.
Can we see him, or he's actually inside?
He's inside. He has gone inside of some sort of tunnel.
I think we should just sit here. I don't see a reason to.
did we take a long rest yet?
I mean, no.
We have not stopped.
We can
It is
short
good.
rest
Go,
while he's
go,
in
go,
there.
go, go.
If you want, we can just, kind
That
of
might
take a
be
little
by
time
I
to
mean,
short rest while we're
Yeah, you
Waiting
did say it's
for him.
15 minutes. That's a short rest, isn't it?
Hour.
30.
1 hour is short rest.
Well, should we just make camp here?
Yeah, we'll just sit here and wait.
As you say, should we make camp here? One of the sides of the tree just like bursts open. And you see, kind of climbing out from a hole is a very dirty and disheveled Lucas, and he kind of throws a package
hell?
onto the ground and he lifts himself up and out. This is not the place to stay. And he slams the wood, the bark. It's like a 10-foot section of bark that just swung open. He crawls out and he closes it.
Alright, let's get the fuck
Yeah,
out
let's
of
go.
here.
Okay,
Yeah,
we should
what
go.
the fuck?
No time to talk. And he kind of lifts the package up and starts like jogging out. He leads you a certain direction, and as you guys are leaving, you can hear this bellowing, horrific roar that seems to come from the earth. And as it reaches your ears, you see Lucas turn around. Faster. Maybe we should go faster. We should go
Lucas,
faster.
what did you take? What did you do?
Nope, this is mine. He's a fucking asshole about it. All right,
Mine? Who?
Oh
Did you
god,
steal
just
something
run!
from the
We're running.
I tell Guana to get on
Cyclops?
my back, and we can start jogging.
You guys trot your way along. There is about an hour's worth of heavy walking. You're all sweating profusely, and Lucas kind of points you towards this area. There's very clearly a burn ring in between 2 of these large root systems. This is probably good enough.
Probably.
Likely. I mean, yeah.
Do you care to explain yourself?
How big is the thing that was chasing us?
Well, have you ever met a dragon before?
Fuck this shit.
You just fucked with the dragon, you mother.
Fuck with the dragon.
Listen, he's part of the forest. You kill him, he comes back, so he's
Oh.
obviously not like real. And this was my sword. He was dead when I showed up. I put it in.
So his spirit is attached to
Lucas pacing back
Do you
and
remember
forth,
the guy
freaking
in
out.
the dirt?
his forest.
That, like, with the staircase? You remember
Yeah,
him?
yeah, that was a little hard to get.
No.
Psychopath, yeah.
Yeah. Just like that. But a dragon. Now,
And even as he's kind of like scratching his face and turning, you can see the back of his cloak is like scorched in a way that is fresh and different from what you're used to seeing. It looks like maybe he had a run-in of sorts.
What is so special about this sword?
This sword. Well. I hesitate to part with this, but I don't really have a way to pay you otherwise. We don't really deal with money in Quindeath. It's not a common thing.
We could have just shook hands and says, favor. Like, I mean, I wasn't in need for money in this.
What favor did he do for us?
Time out.
Certain
We did a favor for him, he could do a favor for
What's
us
this
in the
sword
future.
Tell us about the sword.
We can't split a sword.
I'm
And he kind
well
of
aware, but we could sell the
lays
damn
the sword out in
people.
front of you, and he starts unfolding it. And this moldy gray has like patches of brown moss that seem to be growing through it. It smells really bad. He unfolds it. Unfolds it.
So the cloth
And unfolds
itself
it.
is gross?
Yes.
Or, okay.
And as the pommel is exposed, it is this radiant, white, ivory, beautiful substance that seems completely
Did you say ivory?
Ivory?
Ivory is in white, not ivory is in
I thought the same
Our
thing.
father was quite the adventurer when he was a young man. And, well, he brought this back from the Underdark.
And as he kind of finishes his statement, he unfolds the rest of it, gleaming in beautiful silvers and gold and different rubies and sapphires and different gems that are inlaid into the hilt with exquisite elven craftsmanship. You guys see this great sword that is laid out, long sword that is laid out in front of you. This is Dawnbringer.
What is it?
Dawnbringer.
Dawnbringer.
I still think it's a bad idea.
Again, very
Righto. I have to say that, frankly, I think putting me in with a dragon was also a bad idea, but I am happy to be relieved
Wait,
of
time
such.
out.
Who's talking?
The sword.
Hold on
Your
the
sword
fucking
has a
second.
fucking personality. What up, brother?
I do have a personality, and it is quite
I know,
nice to
all
meet
swords
all
have
of you.
personalities.
How may I be of further assistance?
I want to pick up the sword.
As you pick up the
And
sword, there is a
Commune with it.
Well, hello, good sir.
No, dude.
there is a you feel like a shirking way, almost like an electric pulse, but it's not something that hurts you. It hurts something else as it kind of shirks back into the furthest corner away from the sword that it possibly can.
I think that I should keep this sword.
I think that we
I-
can't split a sword.
Truly, and I would be quite remiss if I did not say myself that I would not like to be split, so if I could remain in one whole piece, that would be absolutely preferable.
What is your... I don't know. Do you have a purpose?
Oh, well. Do you have a purpose, my friend?
Yeah, but it's none of your business. What's your purpose?
Well, then I have to say it is absolutely none of your fucking business.
That's fair. I understand. Okay.
I would like to have the sword.
This is your family sword, Lucas?
I'm not the family sword, but Lucas's father did, how do we say it, Lucas?
And Lucas kind of like clears his throat.
Commandeered. Yes, I was commandeered from the Underdark. They had won me in some sort of silly game or contest of war, or you know, that thing where immortals try to slash at each other until one of you stops bleeding. And, well, I had been sequestered to the Underdark for quite some time, and now, well, here I am.
Do you, you seem up and happy and whatnot.
What is there to be sad about in times like these?
Man, you're perfect
Lives
for
really-
Nebuntash then, I think.
Again,
Why have you missed the dragon?
you're about
Truly, I think that perhaps maybe Lucas better be the one to explain that to you. It's not quite my place.
Yeah, how's this payment? I'm just curious.
Sounds like you were put there for a reason. Sounds like you are being protected.
Dragons are hoarders.
Uh-huh.
touches the jewels and says, "Party."
It's very pretty.
It's very. Are you magical by any way other than the obvious?
Truly, I am. And as he goes into his sidebar with Dawnbringer, you ask Lucas your question. Lucas, this is the last of my father's treasures. Frankly, it's hard to watch it go, but
Then why?
Well, you saved my life, effectively. And I'm sure Joanne promised you payment, but probably not coming from her. I can't do much for you guys. I'm stuck in this forest. I have a really hard time leaving, so this is the best thank you that I can give you.
I have a hard time taking this from you.
Also,
I don't personally have a hard time. This thing is great. I love it.
my friend,
then are you going to equally give us payment?
you're not going to leave me anywhere, are you?
I'm not trying to give you
Well, I
debt.
can just say that, frankly, I noticed that there happens to be a bit of darkness inside of you, if you would. And I would be, it would be really horrible if I were to be left alone. And I'm just a little worried that, I'm not trying to say anything by it, but perhaps maybe your current circumstances are a little...
He's known for breaking things.
Oh, dear God.
Can I?
I vote.
But if he makes the sound, the sword
Nebuntash,
being
give it
ready,
to
it
him.
belongs to
Nebuntash.
him. Wouldn't it be
Nebuntash,
good?
can I hold the sword?
We want to find the right
Yeah.
fitting.
Maybe we should let the sword choose the person.
Ah, yes, I've heard of this ceremony. It's called the One Chooses the Wizard.
Yeah.
Yes,
We'll
yes.
get in
I
a
think-
circle.
Let's open
We'll
a
jerk
circle.
you around.
Yeah,
Hello, my
we'll
friend.
circle jerk ya to
Oh.
figure out exactly.
God, Lucas, perhaps we can have a game.
Look, I'll be quite honest here. Taking hold of this sword has given me a measure of peace. And while I know I do not fight with swords,
Well, I've never seen a sword have anxiety.
Not?
You're certainly
I
giving
do.
it.
Right,
Only
with swords.
are you not proficient
Yes.
with swords. You are definitely not proficient with long
Right.
swords.
hold on. So the only
For you to have this fucking sword.
the only thing I
Well,
will
they're
ask.
arguing. I'm gonna ask Lucas to. No, you can keep talking. Keep going. I'm just asking Mike.
I'm not arguing. I was
We
gonna
gotta
say.
go one at a time.
Let me finish. I would only ask that if the need arises, I could hold the sword to help me with my proclivities, my issues. So I will hand this off to whoever feels
I'm gonna grab it
able
real
to
quick.
wield
I'm
it.
gonna hold on to it, and I'm just gonna kind of look at it.
God! What are you?
I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna say, "What's your purpose for talking? Why are you a talking sword?"
Why not be a talking sword? Why be a talking bag of empty flesh?
And I think then you're as good as Mr. Dragon, because all you do is cause problems. Why do you talk? What is your
Did you
purpose?
say, my good sir? You yourself may cause some serious problems. You're an affront to nature.
You are just closer and closer to me, running back and throwing it. It's just the
I
fucking
may
dragon
do
coming
not
right at
say
me.
Are you
So
guys
I'm
just
gonna-
grab this thing? This is like.
I just want to ask you. I'll just give it to you. I'm like, I do not trust why the sword needs to talk. If it does not have a purpose besides an adventuring tool, I've seen many adventuring tools.
I've never seen
I am
someone
more
so
than an
angry.
adventuring tool, my good sir.
I just
Last
asked you,
question.
then what are you? Then what are you?
I'm
If
not-
you're more than an adventuring tool, then
I
what
am
are
a
you?
fine weapon of the most delicate
I
craftsmanship.
have seen many fine weapons in my
Why are
life.
you so mad?
my purpose to bring
Time
life.
out! Why are you so mad at this sword? For one,
Why do we
you're
know?
questioning it like it's a fucking enemy.
Yes, I
It's
am.
come down and hunt you.
I am questioning it.
I see that you have been hurt very deeply, my
We have
sir.
been listen. We have been literally traveling with items that people are able to teleport from. Right?
Yeah, man.
We started this entire journey with an item that we would bring back. We are now getting an item from. We don't know who to trust. Let's be honest. But
Right.
where we came from,
Right. But-
we believe that Joanne is a good person. Now we are taking back an item that is talking to us back to the town where where we know
This
that
isn't-
items that are taken, people are teleporting through.
I've
man.
heard of other swords that talk. This is
You
the
are,
only one in the world.
Yeah.
I don't-
All I got to say is every person that talks to us, you're just very angry. Just deep breaths. We can talk it out just
Aren't you the
nicely.
ones that ran away in the forest, and then we had to shoot at you because you decided to have a hissy fit
You
and run behind the tree?
Actually, almost killed me. I would like to point out.
Yes, just as though you thought I was the giant monkey.
Didn't
you
do
were a
anything
lizard.
to you. Didn't do anything to you. I stood my ground like a man.
No, you couldn't get close enough to.
Anyways,
Let's pass the sword to Odette.
Next
Give it to
person.
Odette.
Odette, does anything
I
happen?
take the sword.
Hello, my dear.
Hello. Do we know your name?
My name is Dawnbringer. What is your name?
Dawnbringer. My name.
Oh, it is convenient that we are all being Dawnbringer. Fascinating.
My name is
only-
Odette.
Oh. Significantly less interesting, but you are still a wonderful person from what I can tell, and is there anything I can do for you?
No, I just
Tell me,
need
did
a
you know that
better
you're
weapon.
wandering with a zombie in your presence?
Yes, he's our friend.
And you're okay with that?
Yes, he's a wonderful man.
Interesting.
Do you feel comfy with her?
I mean, no more comfortable than I did with everyone except for the undead person. But,
I give him to Luca.
hello, my dear.
Hi.
How are you?
Do I have darkness in me?
Well, I mean, no more than, maybe a slight smidge more than the average person, perhaps. Seems like you've been through quite a bit. Your husband was not.
Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna pass you on over.
What was he saying?
And hello to you.
Hello to you.
Oh, fascinating. That was an impeccable impression of my accent. That is wonderful. How do you do that?
He doesn't know how to communicate with it. He just kind of stares at it for a minute and is just
Do
like,
we all hear this
You can
communication?
speak to this thing telepathically.
oh, I can.
Ooh!
Oh. It might be a voice for me then. Oh. I say, well,
Telepathically or
telepathically.
out loud?
Yeah, telepathically.
You guys don't hear anything.
Yeah, I say, well, I can't speak normally. I can only mimic.
Fascinating. And why is that, if you don't mind me asking?
It's the curse of my species.
And what species might that be?
I'm a Kenku.
You are a Kenku. What is a Kenku?
Do we hear him talking?
Yes, you
Okay.
hear all of his responses.
We're all just like,
So she can speak telepathically to him, but he can't do it back.
right,
He's just speaking out loud, right?
He can't amplify her thoughts.
His thoughts.
He can speak to all. It seems like within this like 5 to 10 foot radius that you guys are all standing in, he doesn't have any trouble communicating with you.
Okay.
But
What did you ask me?
What is a Kenku, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, we're a type of birdman species, but sadly we can't fly.
Oh, that is most unfortunate. I can't fly either, though, so you're not really at a loss there.
This sounds
Does
like
the
I'm
sword
just like
fit
holding
in
it. I know, I'm
the
just
ball?
holding it. There we go. Okay, like this. There we go.
He's a baby bird.
I don't know. I'm used to my book. Sorry.
You're like,
It's a
Lay it out.
sword. Yeah, lay it out. Yes.
So are we gonna?
give you the sword.
Okay.
Do you want to come with us, or stay with your family?
Well, no, frankly, I have no family.
Sorry, I'm looking at you, but I'm actually looking at the stick, which is the sword.
Yes,
which is
Right.
so.
I am known in many places as a cutting stick, if you will.
I want
Frankly,
to
that joke usually lands a little bit more laughter, but I'll accept it. You guys seem like a drunk crowd.
I want to ask it. Are there any other? Would you call yourself an object or a creature?
I would call myself a personified
1936 stubby.
creation.
Are there any other creations like you?
I have to assume that there are plenty of other creations like me. Are you the only Kenku?
No.
Have you seen many other Kenkus?
No.
Do you believe that there are other Kenkus?
I hope so.
And in the same way that I hope so, that I'm not the only one of my species.
All right, I'm gonna do a deception.
What would you like to do? What are you trying to accomplish?
I want to get him, or I'm going to get a persuasion, actually, I guess.
Okay, you want
to
persuade
admit
him
that he's a fucking liar, and that there are not many magical weapons out there that speak.
You're trying to persuade him to
You're trying to
lie.
persuade him to be like, don't lie to the bird that you know, that you're the only person that can hear exactly what the hell is going on with this bird, you and them. Do not lie to our friend. So 14, I'll add these up. Persuasion, I'm pretty sure I got a 20, but let's see. If my phone will turn on.
I used to have it up, but I don't anymore.
Is it metagaming if I bring up what I know from other
Yeah.
games?
Alright,
Super metagaming.
Really? Why?
16.
Because Odette doesn't know that.
That's true.
16.
That's another individual.
16.
Well, I do say, frankly, it's more of a whimsical hope, if anything else. I concede your point that I just imagine that perhaps if I am one, that maybe there might be another. It's more of a personal hope than anything else.
Are you magical?
Very
Or
much
were
so,
you,
my
or were you
good sir.
forged?
Both. I was
Obviously you were
not.
forged, but were you forged with magic or were you blessed, I
Well,
guess?
how many talking swords have you spoken to in your life?
I have no idea how you were made.
Okay, well that's fair.
Good point.
I can do. I can.
Were you
I
a
can do
sword
this.
first?
I can do this.
And you watch as he, the hilt of the sword just below the blade starts to glow with this soft amber light, and it just spreads and spreads and spreads about 30 feet out. Excuse me. Yeah, and you watch as the energy kind of emanates from the hilt of the sword about 30 feet out and brings light to this otherwise darkened forest. And as soon as it kind of reaches its peak of radiance, it collapses.
Does it hurt him at all?
I should hope not. Or did that hurt?
That was the reason for having goggles on all the time.
Fabulous, my good sir. In fact, I can also do this, and you, as you're holding the sword, it vanishes, but you can feel the weight of it in your
Oh,
hand.
cool.
Does Guanpo vanish?
Guanpo does not vanish.
That's actually, yeah.
As you're kind of holding it, you kind of swing it around gently. It's very heavy, but you're just giving it these soft turns. He comes back. No. Nope. Still not fed. Oh, thank you, my dear.
I'll give you a little.
I want to ask him.
Fabulous. I'd like to see that you're not completely dead, like your friend.
Oh. I want to ask him telepathically.
Thank you very much.
Why does Nebuntash like you so much? He's not a sword user.
Well, it possibly has to do with the two beings that are residing inside of him, and one of
What
them
are
being
you
complete
saying?
and total evil. It seems to have run away from my radiating personality.
To be wait.
Wait, what?
Who's
Who's evil?
Who did you just ask that about?
I kind of look over at him and I tell the sword,
Can I grab that sword?
can you tell my friends who you're talking about?
Oh yes, the long-haired one with the grizzly face and the very manly machismo about him.
Two souls.
3, his own and 2 others.
Hey!
Hopefully not. I get the feeling
Oh my
that
gosh.
you didn't know that, and I apologize, good sir, for possibly revealing a part of yourself that maybe others did not know about. That was not my intention.
Did you gain one in the 20 years you were gone?
I'm gonna back up just
I
a
want to
tad.
ask him, so you helped him with this when he held you?
Perhaps maybe lessen the effects is probably the right way of that.
Well, I suppose the cat's out of the bag.
Factually, and I apologize for being the one to release that.
Yes,
I wasn't
yeah.
aware that you had not shared such a personal thing. If you want, I can share plenty about everybody else.
It would appear that you can see the secrets of everyone, and I would just caution you. Shut your fucking mouth, just a little bit.
Do they have to touch you for you to know this? Or
Well, if we're being 100% purely honest, everybody in this circle has touched me at this point, except for Lucas.
I haven't touched you.
You absolutely stole the blade from him.
You did.
Oh, I tried, but we kept talking. I wasn't sure if that happened or not.
I'm assuming it's literally just like
he gave it to you.
No, you gave it to her.
He relinquished it to you.
Oh,
you relinquished
Jesus
it to
Christ.
her.
I don't remember any of this. Okay.
Yeah, you stole it from me because I was asking you questions.
I know, but I thought I got.
She's like, I'm not
We
going
can keep going.
I want to ask the sword real quick. Is Nebuntash always Nebuntash?
It would seem that maybe at this point in time you should probably talk to your friend about that. I don't think that I'm quite the one to discuss.
Look, Sword, if he's asking you questions, you shut your mouth.
That's what I'm trying to do
I kinda
without
like
being so rude, is what you can see. I don't want to
Everyone gets the truth. Say,
relinquish all of the secrets that are amongst this group, unless it would make you feel better, perhaps.
No, I enjoy having friends, and I'm not looking to terrify them all away from me.
Great, fabulous.
I'm gonna grab the sword out of Guanapo's hand. I'm gonna hand it back to Lucas real quick.
Dexterity, yeah, strength check, dexterity check.
Okay, you can hold on to it, but I want it when you're done.
Okay, I just say to the I say to the sword, I like having a talking stick.
Yes, well, talking sharp stick. Don't forget the sharp part. It's quite important.
I want to find another one of you.
Fabulous. Perhaps maybe we could quest to that endeavor together.
Okay.
Okay.
I just like, yeah.
And I'm gonna hand it. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna hand this back to Lucas, whether he takes it with the cloth. I don't care what he does.
Lucas just doesn't reach for it. Doesn't seem to.
Great. I'll throw it on the ground.
So
I don't care. I'll throw it on the ground for right now, and I'm gonna say,
You should know that Dawnbreaker's
You want help?
he's a bit of an intrusive type.
You don't want that.
Clearly.
He's a
If
good
brings us
person.
into the town,
But
this thing knows all of our secrets.
Okay.
Everything that we've ever done. Do you not think that his sister is not gonna know what this sword is?
Yeah, if it's a family heirloom, I assume.
How do we know it's a family heirloom though?
He told us that.
So
You did?
this thing talks,
Lucas
right?
did.
He
Right.
brings us
So we
into
don't
the
know
town.
that if it's true.
This thing can do nothing but non-stop flap its lips. You think
I
this
do
is
say
a
good
good
sis. I am
Alright. I'm gonna grab the cloth and I'm gonna wrap it up because it couldn't talk without the cloth on. So
I think
I'm
it's
gonna
more
start wrapping it.
beneficial than you think.
I'm just gonna pick up the sword and I'll be like, oh, Dad, just put this in your sack for now. And I'm gonna go to bed. We need sleep.
I put it in my
I'd like
sack.
to talk to the sword for a little more.
No, if anyone's gonna hold the sword,
That
it's
is
gonna be
between
me.
you guys.
And my vote's
God
Guanapo.
doesn't exist right now. You guys
Guanapo?
are in a circle.
But give
My
it,
vote is someone who can actually use the damn thing.
I say give it
Agreed.
to Nebuntash.
Well,
He can't use it, and he's got 3
Yeah, he can't
spirits,
use it.
and you woke
3
up with
souls.
him choking you in the middle of the night. I don't know if that's a great idea.
Help.
Right,
Yes,
right.
The
But
vertical
I
talks through it, but
I think
Yeah,
maybe we give it to
Guanapo
Guanapo as a
and
gatekeeper.
Dude,
For
Guanapo, do you want it to know everything about you? I assume
It already
that the longer you hold on to it, the more that it knows about you.
It's too late.
Nebuntash.
I don't think that's how we should do this. I think I've got enough going on. And
Clearly, lots happening in
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, man, I don't think you should be adding a sword
wait,
to that mess.
that was my thought as well. I don't need an extra voice on top of the madness.
Madness.
All I ask is that maybe if I have a moment, give me the sword and maybe it can help alleviate those
Yeah.
moments.
Maybe like a nightly ritual before bed type of thing.
I think it hates me the
Really
most.
random.
Maybe I'll hold on to the sword, and then if anybody needs it, I'll give it to you.
I
Right?
don't
This
think
thing
the
hates
sword
me.
would
I mean, we gotta
consent.
hear.
And I'm gonna keep it
I don't
wrapped
need
up
that
so
much
it's not talking.
arguing.
It's not going to
I will fight you before you have that sword.
All right, I'm gonna grab the sword all wrapped up where I know it can't talk, and I'm just gonna stick it on my back.
I put it
already
in.
in
I
the
already put it in Odette's bag.
I think if anyone should hold the sword,
Which,
God.
to say it's in her bag means that
No.
it's strapped across the back of her, like.
Anybody but the one who's going to
Alright,
argue
I'm
with it.
going for a stealthy steal again. Let's see how many items
Stealthy
I can
steal?
blow up.
We can see.
So everybody's pretty
About
much
the sword.
watching, and like this is the hot topic of the moment. So you'll be making this at like disadvantage.
Which means
Are you sure?
we're all
Are you
safe.
sure?
Everybody can
pretty
still
sneaky.
see it, and I'll let everybody else make perception checks.
I have a lot going against
It's
you.
dark.
Yeah. How about no disadvantage? Just if I.
Nobody else.
If I roll higher than everybody else gets to roll. If I roll the highest,
Yeah, that's
You're
how
just
that
saying a
works.
roll or
But you have
without.
to do
use
it
a
at
disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Usually a second roll.
Yeah, disadvantage is
No,
second
there's one roll.
for-
There's 6
I rolled
people
a fucking
rolling.
23. So
I also got a 23.
He's got to roll
You gotta be
for
at 23 at this point, dude.
perception.
20 with.
Wait, it's
I
disadvantage.
did
Did you roll?
Disadvantage.
No,
Roll
there's no
again.
disadvantage.
Yeah, that's disadvantage.
I'm literally rolling against
No.
6 dice.
Yeah,
Yes,
disadvantage
that's not
because we're
disadvantage.
watching you.
We
It's
have
still
There's literally no
disadvantage.
There are 6
Disadvantage.
people that can roll a 20.
Yes.
There is, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3,
That's
4,
how hard it is.
5.
That is how hard it is.
What I'm trying to tell you is that it is insanely
Why
hard to beat
What is this for, stealth?
I don't understand.
Stealth.
Why are you
Still have to
fighting
roll
us?
disadvantage.
I don't
But I literally
understand.
just rolled against
A
5
natural
people.
20, which is
That's how hard the task is.
Yeah, because you're
interesting.
doing it with all of
I'm
us
interested
watching
to know
you.
what your stealth is. Or sleight of hand, excuse me, sleight of hand. This will be sleight of hand. Sleight of hand, sleight of hand, sleight of hand.
No. Well, I mean, you just made me roll twice, so first you're gonna get a shit roll. So 13.
I rolled a 20.
23, 23, 20. I don't
So
even
I had
think
it.
you
So I had
I
a
love
20.
you.
I had
I
a
love
20.
you.
I had a 24 on the first one, and I had to roll against 5 dice.
Let me explain this in the context of
No, if I was rolling against
physical
one
situation.
person, it makes sense.
That's like
understand.
we're all
looking at you. That's one person.
may
Right? If
actually
you
work
roll
because
dice
it's so
to dice,
focused.
it makes sense on a disadvantage, right? If I roll against Chris at a disadvantage, that makes sense.
We're
Because he gets
seeing
one
all
die.
watching.
We're all looking
in circles.
Why are you
show your keys right now.
God. No, that's what I'm saying.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
No, I'm asking.
Think
the
about
logic.
it. Think about it.
I rolled a disadvantage at
if
10
we
times then. That's a 10 times disadvantage.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
We're all-
how hard it is.
That is a
Literally, us
difficult
sitting at
thing
a table
to
and
do.
you trying to steal this. Like that's what he's saying right now. Is like
Oh,
we're all
man.
in the middle
Let's
of talking.
let's go
about
camping
it.
about that. Let's
rock.
put ourselves
We
in a
theoretically-
camping
the
situation.
left guys, we
We're all sitting
theoretically-
in a
Hunter tries
campfire
to sneakily go.
and steal all the marshmallows.
And we're all like looking at it.
As we're arguing about that object,
That's
are
5
stealthy.
people that get to roll. That's 5 dice.
There's 5
Yes,
people
right,
looking
but we
at
get
you.
That beat all 5 people.
There's actually
But
6
we would get to
and
roll with
7 if
advantage
you count
if it was
Don Berger.
individual.
But that's 5 people I
Okay,
beat.
but Hunter,
What are
there's-
the odds of that?
if you were to
you
steal
beat
that-
5 people. There's 5
is-
different dice that roll. How is that not the disadvantage?
It is
There's 5
damn
dice
near
to beat 1.
impossible. Damn near impossible.
That's 5 dice to
Because
beat
it's
if
a
you
1.
had gotten a 30,
That is
what
a
was your
disadvantage.
total? What was your
would you
total?
consider the disadvantage?
What was your
I was
total?
24.
What
I
answer is
answered
gonna
that.
make this go away and we can continue?
If you
I
had
don't know. It's a disadvantage, not 5 to 1. Is that not a
Not
disadvantage?
enough.
No!
Not even close to. I would
If
give
you
you
had
20.
If we were one-on-one,
It would be 20. If we were one-on-one, you'd be at disadvantage. You're
If I was in
disadvantaged every
Vegas and
single
making
one
a
of
bet,
us.
if I put $1 on that, I better get $200 back if you can sneak that thing away.
We're literally playing Dungeons and Dragons. 5 to 1. There
There's
was
5
5
people
chances
looking at
of
you.
different dice to beat mine.
All right, no more
It's
shots.
not. There's 2 other people. So it's actually 7 to 1. If we're being perfectly
That's
honest.
too much.
The gist of what you should have taken away from that is that it was fucking impossible to steal it. It's the subject of matter, and everybody's looking.
All I'm saying, 5 to 1. It's not my fault that I roll high.
Anywho, what were we talking about?
I
I'm
think
gonna go
Guanapo, quick question here. You seem to be communicating with that thing very clearly. Can you explain that? You weren't writing down anything, you weren't mimicking anyone. How did that work? In your mind. So you would like telepathically communicate. I think that okay, guys, Guanapo can't clearly communicate with anyone.
I mean,
This is probably the
communicate
first-
just fine, but you know, know what it.
There's limitations, fan, let's be
He was
honest.
saying he didn't want it and wanted to give it to you.
Because Guanapo is nice. In reality, this probably be the most important thing Guanapo could ever receive. I think we should give the sword to one of them.
That was
It's
my
gonna
vote.
stay in my satchel for now.
Damn, you prick.
Let's go to bed. What
You
time
look
is it?
over, Lucas is already like curled up, has a blanket around
Like,
him,
fuck
and
you
it's
guys, I'm
just
going
like,
to bed.
Okay, hold on. Quick question. Did he try to steal it then? Did we witness him trying to actually steal it? Did that happen?
don't make me
Because
answer
what
that,
would we
dude.
do?
Don't make me answer that.
Yeah, well, that's
I would say that Connack has the brain
it
power
was just an argument. Put it
in
that
that
way.
moment where he was just like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Who's taking first watch?
I don't need to sleep,
I'll take
so.
first watch. You never need to sleep.
Oh, you lucky bitch.
Ever?
Didn't you say there's something like a level of how long you can before you?
After about 8 hours, I will achieve the equivalent of you getting 8 hours of sleep. Just through light activity, I can read, I can meditate, I can.
Okay, you can meditate and I'll take first watch.
I'll be keeping my eyes open, paying attention to.
Either both of you can roll, or one of you can make a perception check at advantage.
I'll do it.
Go at advantage, go for it.
First, advantage.
Can the DM roll for beer?
Yeah, let's see. What do you got?
18.
Actually, can you roll it at disadvantage? Can
we're
everyone
all watching you.
please roll
10.
it? Can everyone please?
Yeah, we all get to roll against you.
Seven.
A D20 and all you have to do is hit a 5.
At advantage?
Yeah,
Seven
I rolled a
at
4
advantage.
and then a 5.
Ooh! Switch it
Well,
up.
I'm not
I
gonna
got a
lie.
nat.
I was actually like, okay, I guess I don't need this whole list of things that could happen to you during a long rest, but I guess I do. Can you roll actually, how about you roll the percentile, the tens place
shit.
D10, and you roll the
Sure,
ones
just do
place,
me.
because you're still awake. The D10. If you're rolling a D10, you're rolling percentile.
On it.
Isn't it the same thing? Just zero.
They're the same, but it's more
70.
fun. 71. 70.
You rolled a 1?
So it's 71 total. Right?
Oh, just like after you rolled a 20? That's nice.
It was a D10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How interesting. You guys' watch begins excitedly. There's a lot of talking. Dawnbreaker doesn't seem to be trying to be in anybody's way. You relax into your stasis and looking around, keeping a vigil, looking for creatures of the night or maybe signs that some sort of magical effect has taken over your party. You glance outwards. Connack, as you find peace in the dreamlike state, the sword kind of dances across your mind. It's still fresh and it's almost wounding that your compatriots wouldn't just let you have it. You focus on the sword and you bring forward this image of it in your mind. And you can see the sword suspended there in the air in front of you. And you focus on the weird and strange details. And one of the jewels in the pommel starts to rotate just slightly. And you, focusing on it, it has a reflection in it. And how interesting. And you pull your face up to it, it's not your reflection. It's the leader of your little mercenary band. And his face kind of shatters for a moment into these fragmented pieces of his own reflection, and there's gaps between it, and you can't quite make out all the details, but it still looks like him, and the shards collapse for a moment and fall on the ground, and when they fall on the ground, they turn into these ruby red apples that just kind of sprawl out around you, and as you look around on the wooden floor, you look up and you can see the classroom that you're so familiar with teaching in. And every student, every seat is full. And you look back at the board, you know where you're at. this is very familiar. And you look up and you can see all the Connacks that are in the class seem very interested in you. They're all focused, every single one of your faces focused on your teachings. And as you dictate to the board, it seems almost natural and not even concerning in the slightest. God, this is a terrible time to pause. Oh, there it is. Okay. As you point out on the board, modular enterprise, you can see as you look back, half of the class, their faces are turned outwards towards the outside of the building, and you hear this low humming drone. Everyone is repeating holistic economy leadership principles. Holistic economy leadership principles. And you watch as the class, they're in this pulpit school style teaching auditorium starts to level out, and you see them just sink down one by one into these neat rows, and you can watch as they start marching, each one of them wearing the same uniform of the school, their eyes blazing this bright green energy as it seeps out from their bodies. You are standing on top of a pulpit and looking out over this massive army that is just marching past you. Holistic economy leadership principles. The army starts curling inwards, and you watch as it becomes this rotating wagon wheel. Spikes seem to emit from the sides of the wagon wheel, and suddenly you're standing on the side of a snowy mountain as a large creature. You're not familiar. It could be some sort of dragon, but it looks smaller than a dragon. It's more of a horse, and it's got these massive, powerful limbs. The same green color, climbing, scaling up the wall of this mountain, dragging a carriage behind it. Inside the carriage, there seems to be some sort of screaming child, some sort of horrific, tortured babe that is calling out for love and compassion, and you seem numb to it in general, and you look down your hands, the same decayed surface that you're used to seeing on a day-to-day basis. The dragon turns around. Instead of having the head and face of a dragon, it has the face of an old man, a long, withered beard, these hollow, blue, glowing eye sockets. Help me. And you're back in the forest. You guys watch as Connack stands
Yeah, I thought this was
from
my
his seat.
night watch.
You watch as Connack stands from his seated position, his meditative position, and begins walking outwards, out away from the camp. You guys stand up immediately, and just as you put your hand on his chest to stop him, you're come back to the moment, and you look around and you're standing.
Are you okay?
What were you dreaming about?
The opposite of what we saw.
The past?
Everything that we saw, I just witnessed the opposite, and somehow it was linked to that sword. It's a red ruby, I don't know, I had some sort of epiphany. I was thinking about the sword, I guess daydreaming, I don't know. And then I looked into the ruby, saw my old leader, and then it was like a spiral. Everything that happened in the eggs that you saw, but it's the complete opposite. It's like I had control of some nationalistic army.
Did it feel as real as when you were in the egg?
I would say it felt very similar, except I was still dead, and it was almost as though I had created the opposite of what I wanted. I had found solace in being undead, but I don't understand how I would be able to teach as an undead. So that's the only thing that from my dream I don't understand. I don't think that I would be able to teach in the college I was at if I was undead, if that makes sense. Where I,
How many schools would hire a dead person?
Right? Where I created a thought process of some nationalistic ability to get other people to follow me and overthrow, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Create some sort of movement that was able to mobilize and become an army and
And you
take
think
over.
the sword was the catalyst for this?
I don't know what it did to me, but he does not like me, so I don't know, maybe even I touched it. He has
Well,
some
I
sort
should
of...
say that it's not that I don't like you, it's that I've never met an undead person myself that I have liked.
Why would I have an epiphany after touching you? Why would I have some sort of weird dream? I
Could
don't
you
dream.
show me perhaps which area of my body that you were in contact with?
You said the
This
red.
sounds creepy and weird, I
I
understand.
take
but
it
it's
out of my
I
pack.
grab
You
grabs the sword and I look
unfold.
at the red. I just point at the
The
ruby
large
red
red
sword.
ruby, it's there and it's present. And you, as you run your fingers over it,
Ah, yes. This is the area of my form that can perform the lesser restoration spell. Have you recently been cursed by chance?
Is it a curse? I mean, is that what I am? I don't really know if we ever.
Like going in the egg is a curse.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
No, I mean like
being
me.
dead.
I'm saying being dead in general. Is that a curse?
I'm not quite familiar with why
wasn't-
you are still alive, even though you are dead, but I'm talking more in the recent times, probably within the last 3 days, perhaps.
I hopped in the egg. I was the same as him.
Maybe
We hopped
something
in a
in the
machine,
forest?
and I don't really know what it did. We saw lifetimes, and we were older when we came out, so you can only assume that.
Well, that's just preposterous. We all know here. I should hope you all know that time travel is quite impossible.
It wasn't necessarily time travel, right? Because we stayed in the eggs the entire time. It was more of a fleeting. It was more of a lifetime, I guess, inside the capsule, almost like a dream. But when you exited,
Like a memory, would you say?
it was a memory, but it aged you. When he went in, he was 20 years old.
Came
That's why
out
he looks present.
physically aged.
I'm an elf, so you can't even know. I'm an elf and I'm undead.
Right.
So it's very
20
hard.
years for him isn't as much as it is for me.
I was
20
gonna say,
years for
yeah,
him
I
is,
guess we can't really
nothing.
tell if he
Right.
looks younger. Right? Is his flesh
But
more.
for him, he's the prime
you're
example.
a sleepy young lady.
Yeah.
Well, I was making
You're a stupid lady.
She
drooling.
just peeks
But he
over
is the
her
prime
head
example,
over.
right? He came out and he was 20 years older and
You say you both went into this capsule.
Separately, but yeah.
separately, but we had dreams that almost intertwined. We had similar experiences, if that makes sense, as far as past.
I went in thinking he was kind of a dick, and then I came out and he was my friend. It was kind of odd.
It's very, very strange. Could you both, perhaps, and I hate to be somebody who asks too much of people who are a little leery of me, but would you perhaps both be kind enough to commune together at the same time?
You want us to cross streams?
No, you never cross streams. That's everybody knows that. But
Really?
would you
Never connect streams with another man.
place
Storm
your
off into the
hand,
forest.
if
Can't
you
wait to cross street.
even
Yeah.
a finger, just both of you.
Yeah,
would
I do
you
it.
help me?
I do it.
You grab onto one side of the hill.
I think we
Good
know.
sir.
I think we know. Me and him already know enough about each other.
Connack,
So I'll
let's
just grab
just do it.
I'll
Yeah.
grab
You grab onto it, and as you do, this presence just kind of permeates both your minds, and you can feel it sifting and filtering through different thoughts. And just as it's only a brief second of just, and it collapses. It's like this little time dilation. You guys kind of both release at the same time, and look around.
I should say, that's quite the experience. Have you ever noticed anything in particular about your dreams that perhaps might be common?
I don't dream. The only time I've dreamed is when
Talking about this dream, this fantasy that you have experienced.
You're speaking about the dream that I had the other night.
What do you recall? What was the name of your venture, your business venture?
My keen mind would remember.
It was the Henderson expedition. No, it wouldn't, because you didn't have keen mind until you came out of the egg.
It was the Henderson. I did take a note of that, though.
But you did say he had keen mind when he was walking through the forest before the egg.
After. First time you guys walked through the forest, no keen mind.
I did make
Second
a note
time.
of it. I just want to say,
Okay.
Henderson and Expeditionary League.
And perhaps might you tell me what was your motto?
Pardon?
Your motto at the Henderson Expeditionary League.
You would just remember this. It
Per
was
mare abrius.
Per mare abrius. And you, sir, what class was it that you taught?
Economy.
Economy. What kind of economy, though? Not just any economy. Holistic. Jesus Christ. Holistic economy leadership principles and modular enterprise. Now tell me, anything that you two might find common amongst those.
The enterprise part.
The Henderson and the holistic. Come now, I don't have to explain this to you. Do I truly?
Henderson Holistic.
Henderson.
H-E-L.
Holistic economy.
You're getting that.
Holistic economy. Okay, same letters.
Leadership.
Were we in hell?
Help. Help. H-E-L-P.
Yeah, mine's per mare abrius, so yeah, help.
I'm just sitting there like, what's happening?
What? What is happening?
Are you saying someone was trying to message us to get help?
There's more to it than that. You taught modular enterprise and mare abrius, if I'm not
Per
mistaken.
mare abrius.
Modular
Help me.
enterprise.
Who needs help?
Clearly somebody inside that egg.
I'm just sitting there with my jaw and like,
Yeah,
I knew we should have killed that fucking guy. I'm just
But-
saying.
what guy?
the town is
The
dead, and if the town
lions.
is not dead, since the lion and the traveling circus are...
My friends, you have been duped. This
In
is
what
a
way?
very serious case of modified memory and perhaps maybe some sort of aging spell, if I do say so. I don't believe that you've been to the future at all. I believe.
But why would they age? Why would they put us in a time capsule that is a modification?
Did they
and
charge
then-
you for it,
then-
perhaps?
No, they didn't.
No.
But I'm saying, why say help me? You're the one who told me help me. Otherwise, we would have never even encoded that. So what would have been the point besides aging? Great, I aged 20 years.
How do you convince somebody that something is true? By showing them evidence, no?
No, I understand that the capsule might have been a mirage or something.
Your lean-in friend, he charged you nothing, correct?
Correct.
But I believe at some point, would you not be interested in being able to go back and find investments, even if you were older, and act a certain way and different if you knew that it would come to a particular outcome?
I wouldn't go back. I think I saw most of my...
You already have come back. You were a teacher. You had a wife.
But I'm saying, if I truly believe that that if that is
Perhaps
what was
you-
destined, then I
Yes.
wouldn't go back.
But
Why would I?
you are now evidence to the possibility. And
Really?
who wouldn't pay for a chance at their future?
So you
Oh,
think this
I-
whole thing was just him trying to get money?
I can't say, unless I spoke to him myself, but if
You-
I was a dastardly ne'er-do-well, that's what I would want.
Do I trust this sword?
Make an insight check.
$13.
Roll a d6.
Mm-hmm.
1 to 3 is the bad guy.
What?
1 to 3 is the bad guy.
God damn it. Can I hold the sword? Can it help me? 6.
You feel this warmth kind of wash over you. Nebu, you know. We don't lie to you here. There's no reason. If you would perish, I would perish. I don't see why you wouldn't be telling the truth, and frankly, I like that sword.
Don't you remember what I remember, though? You were there with me the whole time.
How else did you explain it? If I knew how to time travel,
Maybe we could go back. Jesus Christ. Maybe we could go back.
Who's
We could
Jesus Christ?
Don't. Magical fairy tale figure. Don't worry.
Okay.
But perhaps we could change how we are now. This was never how we were meant to be. And if we could go and change that, we should.
So,
You're just it's like diminutive. It sounds like it's like the presence is really far away and it sounds really small. But you hear it.
no, fuck you. Okay, I'm having trouble wrapping my brain around this because I had trouble wrapping my brain around it in the first place. So this is a mindfuck on top of a mindfuck. So I'm pretty mindfucked over here. All I know is that I want to go kill that Lenin.
Well, maybe a more forgiving route.
Can I talk to the other guy real quick?
As you wish. And he recedes. The other guy comes out. Let's fucking kill him.
Let's fucking kill him.
Let's fucking kill him. That motherfucker stole 20 years of your life, and it was for fucking nothing. Are you fucking kidding me? I hate that fucking sword. But I think he's fucking telling the truth. We should go kill that motherfucker right fucking now. What are you waiting for? Let's fucking
I
kill him.
ripped out my knife and I'm like, let's do this!
You guys watch as he rips the knife out of his fucking satchel and yeah!
I'm ready to go! Well, I've conferred with my, let's call them companions, and they both seem to agree that the sword is honest, and the sword is telling the truth. And it's not often that they actually agree, so I'm tending to believe them.
Well, yes, right. I do believe there's no particular reason for me to lie at this point. I do recommend you put that dagger away, though. However, you might scare some of your friends.
I was
especially.
excited, I'm sorry.
I want to ask the sword just one time how I know so much about Nebuntash, if all of it was a facade. How do I know a lot that he had never told me about his
Right,
personality?
who was the first person to go into the egg?
It was Nebuntash.
And did you glint anything about his condition, or perhaps maybe a situation from his past?
No.
So you went in first, and you learned something about him, but he learned nothing about you. That's what you're
I
saying.
thought he did learn about me.
No? You guys had
That's what we had a
similar
conversation
memory.
about.
You guys had a memory of
No,
being.
we had talked about it.
You guys talked about it, yes.
Yeah.
But he never glinted anything from you that you didn't already know. That he didn't already know. Excuse me.
He didn't know I was undead, but he knew my past.
He just knew you were a teacher because you were a teacher of his.
It's playing chess, dude.
I'm just sitting there in the corner. I'm like,
Fucking homebrew bullshit.
either I am
See
sleep
the phone?
deprived or
Yeah,
this
fuck
is
you.
some serious shit.
Yeah. You guys took over. Odette's just sitting there with like this look of like,
Alright.
Odette, do you understand how fucked up my life is?
No.
I want
No.
to find the
No.
elves. I want to get out of this forest. If the knife wants to travel with us, I agree with some of the logic. But we need to get out of this forest. I don't care what we do. Have we all gotten the long rest?
No, I haven't.
You
slept
guys
in
are
a
literally
long
only
time.
picturing.
Why are you guys not sleeping?
This is
No, we
probably-
are
Yeah,
sleeping.
we are. This has probably only been like 5 minutes.
You guys,
They were on their watch.
You okay?
You woke up essentially.
Why would I have a dream after? Okay, so you guys are still asleep. So why would I have a dream and be able to see some sort of an old cruise that I ran with? Why would I see his face in your sword after touching you? That doesn't make any sense to me.
do you know much about the modified memory spout? At certain points, it can become fragmented, and if your mind is strong enough, there are chances for you to weave through those cracks and discover the truth for yourself. It's a very rare occurrence, but you seem like a hardy bunch, and perhaps maybe it might be amplified by the strange magic in this forest. But who knows, really?
I am so.
So are you saying that the dream that I just had is what I'm destined for?
No, I believe that your destiny has yet to be revealed to you.
Because I was going to say, if that's the case, you should all be worried. Nebuntash, you
I don't even fucking know it's real anymore.
Unless you're ready to fucking hail the motto.
I already had the problems.
You better
coming
run.
into all this.
This is like some Westworld shit.
No, you heard the dream. It's literally me marching with an army after teaching an economy class about. It's literally pure nationalism, like. Right? Is that not what it was?
That's exactly what it was.
That's all I could imagine as you were doing it.
Yeah,
Was
it's all I
teaching an
meant.
economy
You got
class,
thrown
teaching
into
products,
jail
and then
for
just
inciting a
chants.
riot at a bar, or excuse me, a brew
At the
house.
university, that's
And then
all I
you-
needed.
while
Was
you were
literally a
in
march
prison,
out of the econ class.
You wrote
and just-
your autobiography, and then you were voted
Fascist-
into power
fascist-
based on your position, and then you overthrew the current government and took power for your own. Somebody remembers Holocaust lit.
I'm not gonna say I'm the next Napoleon, but
I wasn't going for
Let's say
Napoleon.
Napoleon is who he was naming.
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say
Totally
the other
fine.
word for because we're live. So
Yeah,
we'll
that's
just go
right.
with Napoleon.
Napoleon works. I'm not Joseph Stalin.
Is Hitler a curse word?
Pretty much.
So
Pretty exciting. Anyways.
I am gonna be like, I need some fucking
In America,
sleep,
yes.
and
Who's
I go to
next?
sleep.
Fabulous, Quantico.
Wait, where's
I'll
the
be
sword?
next.
Do I put it back in my satchel?
Yeah.
I don't know where you guys want the sword to be. He said he agrees
How
to
did the
Jalen.
sword get out? Did it just
She took
float
it out.
I
towards
took it
us?
out. Did it float towards
He was
Can you please go to sleep so you get a long rest? Jesus.
Did it float towards
Go to sleep. I thought after we dreamed it, because I was thinking of it, like I was imagining Mike being like, "Holy shit! It appears
No,
in
I
front
took
of you."
it
Right?
out.
Me and Nebuntash, where it was like,
No,
It
you
was
had
just
a
talking to us,
dream.
and then she took it out.
You
Okay,
stopped.
you're
You
going
were
to sleep.
sleeping
I put
with
it.
them.
I put
then
it.
she
No
pulled
one
it
took
out.
it from me, so I put
Oh
it back
my
and I go to
God.
sleep.
Very well.
so worried about it. I'm gonna steal it. Are you
I
asleep
would like
now?
to be
Let's roll
awake.
for stealing.
I would like to still watching. We're still focusing on the sword here.
I would like to
Make
be awake with
a-
Quantico.
Okay, both of you together.
Wait, you didn't fall asleep either?
No, I
No, it
was.
was a
I'm
second
taking
hour.
my.
Make a
Shit.
perception
Oh, okay.
check. Either one of you four at this
Plus
point,
5.
or all two.
Wait,
all
who
that
else is
make
up? Who else is awake?
Right.
I'm not.
Me
He's
and
awake.
Nebuntash can literally meditate and he doesn't have to sleep. You guys can literally sleep.
He can literally be awake, whereas you kind of have to go into like a trance. He can just be awake.
I
Yeah,
roped
but the
up.
trance is just. you're not
It's
like-
it's you still hear, you still see, but like you still focus on the trance, whereas he's like awake. He's just
Yeah, you
awake.
can't watch the trees. I can watch the trees.
He
Like,
can
I
look up, look around. He can motor function. He can read a book.
I can
You
even
still have to
exercise.
focus.
Okay, well I've been staying
I
up.
can exercise.
Jesus Christ.
I've been
Yeah.
staying up with Guanapo every night, so I'm just. gonna
One
continue.
of you four either make a perception check at advantage, or two of
Okay.
you may take a perception check.
I'm gonna do it.
Great.
At advantage, he said.
Oh! Oh! Throw away! Throw away!
What's your
No!
roll?
Dude, I love
Did
how.
we take the advantage one?
What do I get?
Yeah.
Yeah, at advantage.
Okay, then I get a 5 plus 7 is 12.
Go. I'm assuming the other one was natural one.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, let's find out what would have happened on a natural
At
one.
least it was at advantage.
Damn.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. You have to roll a d100 for me. That's what you have to do.
Am I rolling in one place again?
Oh,
I'll do it.
God.
It would have been bad.
It would have been bad.
Oh, 70.
Let me roll the 1.
70.
Connack has the same trees.
76.
It's gonna be
No,
71
it's just her.
again.
I know. I rolled the
must be
1.
on the same dream.
She rolled the 10s place. I rolled the 1s place.
You guys are resting calmly. You're doing a couple light push-ups.
I'm not good at them. I'm doing like the granny push-ups with my knees. So
Yeah. It's a process. As you're doing your granny push-ups, you're just noticing the grace and balance of Odette. Just how does she keep that
Rumped
up?
She's Miss United States.
Oh my god. Dear Lord.
It's really weird having you two sitting there like just so in sync. You guys hear the sounds like a wagon before too long.
Great.
And looking around, you can see there is this human wearing bright orange clothing that seems to be like coming towards your guys' camp. As he kind of releases the wagon that he's pulling, it's like a cart, and it just has a bunch of shit on the back of it. Hello.
perhaps you might be able to tell me, where am I?
I don't know.
Fabulous. I don't know either. And frankly, this forest is full of surprises, and I would much like to return. Have I strayed far from the road? Do you know where it is from here?
I don't want to be rude, sir, but gonna need you to fuck off.
Okay. Fabulous.
As you said, this forest is rather weird, and how are we to know you're not one of its weird parts? And vice versa.
Does your...
Vice
I mean, I
Glonf
can't say that I argue with you.
Glonf has an attempt to wake up Lucas.
Yeah, by all means. And you see Lucas kind of stirs and picks his head up. Yeah.
Weird guy.
Hey, weird guy. My head up, sir. Is there anything else?
This is fantastic.
Lost.
Are you lost? Why, yes, sir. So kind of you to notice. Perhaps you might be able to tell me, where is the nearest road? What's that wagon for? Well, I am a traveling merchant. You might have surmised from the accoutrement that is on my cart, but it seems that I have wandered from the road, and, well, I didn't think I walked that far, but now I can't seem to find it. Yeah, you're probably fucked, bud.
So, like I said, you should probably fuck off now.
What do you have in the car?
Oh, I don't
have
think...
quite the many
Is he
things.
asleep? He's asleep.
He's in a trance. He can hear and see.
I don't think we should engage him.
Well, if you would like,
Further.
I can absolutely show you the
All
things
ladies
that
are asleep right
might
now.
be available for purchase. I'm a traveling merchant, as you may have heard. I have some light armors and swords and weapons. Is there perhaps something that you've forgotten on your way out of your last
Do you have
city?
anything magical on the back?
You buy anything from
certainly-
him, I'd be willing to bet that it's cursed.
I would certainly tell you that I have a couple
Already dead, bro.
You were cursed
Super
recently,
cursed.
though.
Most super bad cursed. What happens if an undead becomes cursed to be undead?
I think the double negative cancels out, doesn't it?
Dude,
you get a live
thoughts, bro.
person.
I think you'd get a dead person.
I think you get a live person.
Well, if the undead and
Negative
the
and
undead,
negative equals a positive.
I just
Sweet.
really think that
I'm
you
go
game.
undead plus
I'm
undead.
game with
Equals
that.
alive.
I track down elves, so let's
I do have some potions if you would like.
I wouldn't-
I have 3 healing potions.
Nope.
They would cost about 25 gold each at this point, and
Nope.
I will give you a deal if you can help me get out of this very creepy forest.
I don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't need anything.
I want to
Where did
roll
you
an
come
insight
from?
check on him.
Where did you come from before you entered the forest? Which town?
Yes, well,
Use different dice.
No.
traveling
No, I know shit.
He's
Jesus.
the most believable person you've ever met in your life.
Hanging on every word.
Oh, God.
Realistically, it's that Nebuntash hasn't stopped doing push-ups. That's really what you focus on.
Don't trust him.
I have recently come from one of the monasteries around here. They were one of the usual stops after City Gatling. It's about a week away. And it would seem that the monks there, they were a little bit more raucous than usual, if you know what I mean. And I no longer wished to stay, and so I took off. I was actually trying to catch a boat ride and see if I could travel a little bit more interesting parts of the world and collect some more unique and valuable objects that maybe down here in the south would be appreciated.
Yeah, there's a hole over there by a lake, and I'm just gonna point my staff in some random fucking direction. If you go over there, there's a dragon in a hole. You can go get all the shit you want.
Dragon?
Yeah.
My
Good luck,
goodness.
man. Stop talking to us. Have a good
It's-
one.
okay.
Yeah. That way though.
Name.
My name is Gus. Gus Wong.
Gus, wish you the best of luck. Gus.
Like I said, please fuck off.
I wish you the best of luck, and may Sylvanus' light shine down upon you.
Time
Hey,
out. Whoa, time out. No,
You
time out.
don't think that's a bait?
You just.
That is a bait.
What monster you just come from?
Master? Babe?
No. Well, yes, actually, it's working wonderfully.
I can't remember the name of the monastery.
Bader, my
I forgot to write it
neighbor
down.
boys.
Yeah, sus. He's sus, yo.
Alright.
It is a monastery that you've heard of. In fact, it is the same monastery that the mead that you guys took part in came from.
Okay, is
when you
Lucas
were in
still awake?
Pagan. Lucas looks to
Half
be
awake.
trying to sleep.
I'm just gonna go over to him and I'm not gonna try to like really stir him or shake him, and I'm just gonna be like, should we help this man get out of the forest tomorrow? from past experiences. You think you're really fucked up?
Hey, lost guy, weird guy. How do you feel about the current political climate in the city, Gatling? Well, I do say, while the Open Queen has not been quite as positive and accepting as she normally has been, at least we're not dealing with the dread king again, if I admit freely to myself. Yeah, he's probably not dangerous.
The words probably is what sticks out to me hearing that.
Alright, well you can stay awake and I can meditate. So we'll offer to the man.
Gonfal writes, how about this? He can stay in our camp, but I'm going to put my arrows around him, and if he tries to leave the perimeter I've set up, the arrows will hit him.
I mean, frankly, that sounds like quite the offer. What should I do if I have to relieve myself?
Piss your pants.
No, you can let it out. Just go over. You can peek through the line.
Well, peek over the arrows. Would they do some sort of damage?
I think it'll be okay. Just don't put the Peter on the other side of that thing.
Perhaps, I mean, it has been quite a long day.
Alright, set up the circles
You have
behind
a
his
30-foot
wagon.
radius.
Set up the circle behind his wagon.
Fabulous. I hope you don't mind. It's been quite the travels, and
we'll draw it in the
afraid
center
for
for you.
my life, and have not had time to relieve myself. So there may be some time. If you hear grunting, I apologize.
If we hear what?
Grunting, good sir.
Relieve yourself as
Hit him with that. Oh, you.
So, Guanpo kind of writes to him, pick your spot
Any spot, then. Any spot will do.
within view.
Very well. Perhaps over here might be best.
I look to you guys to see if that's okay.
Yeah, that works for me.
I don't like it, but if you guys are confident, then
He picks a spot that's by one of the trees, and he kind of sets his cart up in a little area and puts his back up against the tree. And
Okay.
this here quite all right.
I just
Fabulous.
stick 4 different arrows in the ground around him. If he tries to exit, they will hit him.
Very well.
I just let him know I'll remove them in the morning.
now what if he's magical and he can just
And this is,
cancel these
may I
out?
ask, you guys you'll find companionships here are planning on allowing me to leave the forest in the morning. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're on our way out towards seated Gatling-ish area.
Fabulous.
I want to cast detect magic.
We will.
Detect magic. There is a quiver of arrows that seems to be magical on this card.
I'm sorry.
There are 4 vials of liquid that seem to be giving off magical aura, and there is a shield that you can tell. It's a large circular object that seems to be giving off a faint magical aura as well. All seems to be coming from his card. Himself, no, nothing. The roots around you glow. Some of your equipment glows. Dawnbringer, fucking like a bright and shining star.
My arrows in the ground.
As well as the crossbow that Lucas is carrying.
Interesting. Okay. If you're trustworthy, I do have to apologize for being crass, but you must understand, as you've witnessed yourself, this force is odd. And it's tried to kill us many times.
Yes, I almost lost this entire cart to a band of baboons, if I do
recall them correctly.
There's something
Large
like
baboons.
that.
Yes,
Yeah.
fascinating
Were
creatures.
they cut in half?
No, no, they were whole.
Yeah,
Oh.
it came at me in half. It was creepy.
Yeah, we've seen crazy
You
shit.
saw a half of a baboon.
Yeah, two
Two halves of one baboon.
halves.
Were they together?
running at me. No,
They were
separate.
separate.
Literally, like coming at me.
Absolutely
Yeah.
fascinating.
It
And you see, he
was.
kind of leans back. Could you tell me more? And he pulls out a book and like a looks like a quill, but it's a little thicker.
Politely, I have my own scribe, and I kind of look at Guanapo.
Oh yes, just for posterity, I do love to document the places that I've been. If you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, the force is magical. I think that's all you really need to know.
That much I have discerned. Thank you for your time, good sir.
So I'm gonna pull Nebuntash to the side and be like, you need to watch this fucking asshole.
I was thinking the very same thing.
Make
Like
a
a-
perception check of your own, and I'm assuming that leaves you
Yeah.
last if you want to take your watch.
I'm gonna look up. Anyone who's staying awake?
I need to go back to bed.
Alright,
So-
I can watch. I'll just meditate
bed.
and stay straight
19.
ahead. I'm gonna watch him
19.
even while he pisses.
So you have Nebuntash and Connack, who are.
I will just go back to sleep.
Oh, it's a natural fucking Uno, so I fall
They
asleep. I
got
didn't even
this.
know I could fall asleep, but I
And roll
fall asleep.
percentile die for me.
Just thinking about it.
For what?
So you're gonna do the percentile and
Probably.
the ones place,
Yeah.
the regular
Okay.
D10. So I need two numbers.
1,
One.
10.
10, and then roll.
Is this the same thing?
No.
This is the
You can
same
roll it
You
again
can
and
roll
just tell me what the
same
number is.
thing.
Huh.
So you have the tens place.
thing. And 0.
So 10. 10 even. Let's find out. Dude, you guys are just not rolling great right now.
You got a 19.
Hey,
Ooh,
don't
that's
put
great.
us all
You
in the
don't
same
wanna roll
boat.
high.
I'm doing pretty good.
Why
I'm
would you
out.
want to roll low? That's super
Yeah.
low. That's just super low rolls. That should be positive. Unless you're Mike, where you have homebrew bullshit.
Let me see. I'm gonna roll a disadvantage real quick. Ooh. I got a 2 on my beer roll. I don't think that's good.
I'm gonna spit in it.
As you sit back and relax in your meditative state, you glancing around, you see Nebuntash is keeping vigil, almost in like a creepy and uncomfortable, awkward way.
Trying to hide it.
Not just like
Just sitting there.
staring. There's a moment where you're like, when was the last time he? Oh, there he goes. He blinked. Okay, good. And you just have this moment like, even though I'm undead, like, I still like to blink. That guy blinks way less than a normal person. You focusing on the area around you. The night is deepening. The darkness is starting to press down, and you can feel the coldest part of the night coming, which means that dawn isn't far off. As you sit there, you can see this slight distortion in the darkness. This very faint pinpoint of light kind of erupt for just a moment and then it disappears. And you look in the area, you look back, not the same spot, but not far from it. The same pinpoint of light. And it looks white. But as your eyes kind of adjust to it, it's this effervescent blue color. And as you kind of stand up and carefully move to the edge of your camp, you can see this blackened mold that seems to be emitting this faint blue essence, this mist of blue energy. And it starts to spread in this vein-like pattern from a single central point, almost like root systems. But it's not a mold so much as it's just like a scorch mark on the tree that seems to penetrate all around it. And you watch as the whole area of the forest in your probably 50 feet away from you comes to life with this same blue, wispy energy that you recognize. You've seen this before. In the forest, not far outside from Goodfellow, when you were tracking the Yagigama.
So this is the same blue, whatever I want to call it, fungus
Moss,
that we thought we
fungus,
saw.
sampling.
Does anyone else see this, or am I just hallucinating?
He is focused as fuck on the old guy, which is the opposite direction of you.
My
that you're
perception is still
looking.
19 though, come on.
But you said you were unfailingly watching this guy.
But my perception's so high that I should sense it.
Alright.
I can
How long have we been
cue
asleep for?
But we saw our whip and
At this
Well, that
point,
lets nobody
most
think it's
people
coming at us.
are reaching the zenith, the point where they can wake up and be okay. But being kind of unfamiliar with sleep cycles in general, you're not sure if there would be a negative impact if you woke them up now.
I'm just gonna turn around. I know what I saw. I'm gonna walk over to Nebuntash and I'm gonna be like, listen, I know you got your eyes on the sky. Gotta tell you, I just saw that blue shit. You know, ooh, wow, yes. The blue moss from what we saw before was the Yagigama. It's over there in the forest. I don't know if it's this guy that is causing it.
You can see it.
And I'm gonna be staring at the guy.
And there's a pang of, I guess for you, nothing because you're a sociopath, but you're like, yep, that's the Yagigama moss.
Cool.
I don't know what to do in this situation. The people, they are sleeping. I think that I don't want them to be exhausted. Is it this asshole? Do we need to kill him? Or is there something where it's the dragon? Or are we having a terrible nightmare because we are in this magical forest? It's one of three.
Yeah, well,
I'm just gonna shake the old guy and be like,
yeah,
do you know anything about this?
Yes, but sorry. What did you?
I know. You're so
Where-
quick.
what was it?
You're so soft. You're so smart. What is the blue moss over there? Have you seen this before?
You're so soft. I love that. So soft. She's so smart.
You know, I have to say my vision isn't quite what it used to be, but no.
I'm not
I've never
taking you out
seen-
to the 30-foot
I'm
circle.
not-
You've seen this. You've
Is
been
he
a good
bullshit
fellow.
at me?
You've seen the blue
Yeah,
moss.
I can
What
say
is
check.
this? When is the last time you've seen the blue moss?
I've never seen anything quite like that, to be perfectly honest.
And you says that you're a trader, a merchant?
Traveling merchant.
You've never
yes.
seen the animals that have the blue moss and the black eyes and things.
Tell me where I can find these creatures, and I would be most happy to travel.
So now I do not trust you.
14.
He's on the level, man. He's a little shooketh from being woken from his sleep, but
Do we see the moss growing towards us or in a direction?
in a particular direction with your 19, it seems to be on the periphery. Like this one spot may have just been the last limb of a space that permitted this growth. Like it's not so concentrated that you feel like it's
Imposing.
yeah, it's just the
But it's
fringes
great though.
from what you can tell.
Look, this forest has fucked with us so many times. I think that it's just the forest. Let's just keep vigil. Keep a lookout. Our comrades need sleep. Pussies.
I guess my problem is that we're keeping this guy, and if this is the problem, I don't even want to bring him out of the forest. Like,
I assure you, good sir.
there has been many people that have assured me. You don't need to assure me anymore.
Question for you.
I cannot grow blue moss.
Question.
It's not in my
If
repertoire.
you're truly a magnanimous person, if we do end up getting attacked,
Yes.
will you lend us those magical weapons that you have on your cart?
May I hide in recompense for giving you such artifacts?
Pardon?
I'm not sturdy. You look like the adventuring type, and I personally am a bit more fragile. And if you
I
would
gathered
be
that.
against me not contributing to the armaments, then you may have a fine time having yourselves to mine life above dollars. If you understand what I mean.
So you'll let us use the magical items in your cart if we fight?
Yes, but perhaps you might be so kind as to lend them back to me after
Sure.
using them.
I don't think there's any issue there.
Fabulous. Then we are at an agreement, perhaps.
That's fine.
What are the magical items? What type of items are we talking about?
He has a magical quiver.
Quiver, yes.
I have a keen mind, so what does he have?
It's a quiver full of arrows.
A quiver full of arrows. And then also a shield. And
Is
then...
it the quiver that's magical, or is it the arrows? Can you tell?
Discernment, it's probably the arrows.
It's the arrows that are magical. And a magical shield as well. So, at least we wouldn't be as caught with our pants down so much as long as we have those to back us up.
So how long do we need to sit here until we know, guaranteed, that everyone has been rested?
I would know how close it is to sunrise. How close are we?
It's
to
about
sunrise?
an hour away from sunrise at this point.
We need about an hour, I would say.
Keeping watch on the moss. It doesn't subside. But you guys stand at the guard. Stand ready. Both of you together, kind of back to back and taking turns, peeking over at Gus, who just finds himself back asleep. The sun starts to peek over. You see the familiar dusting of whatever pollinating or interesting flora is creating some sort of film in the air. You can watch the beams of light just kind of pass through them. You can see them floating gently to the ground. Your party starts to stir. At one point, there's even a moment where roll a d6 for me.
Me?
Yeah. 1 through 3, you fall.
6.
Okay. There is a moment where Odette kind of like, and you see her back end just like, and you're like, oh, and she pulled herself back into center.
Talented.
But before, maybe another 40 minutes pass, you see eyes start to open, sleep being rubbed from the eyes, and you find yourself at the dawn of a new day. Everybody can have a long rest.
Woo! I never waited for a long rest all my life.
Baby Jesus.
You want baby Jesus?
5 pounds, 6 ounces.
Alright, we're getting out of here.
Jesus grew up to be man. He was 33 years
We're
old.
gonna explain what we saw after we get out of this forest.
You guys realize that we're on the cusp of that? We're almost as old as Jesus was when he died. Because he was a real person. Be perfectly honest about that. But he died at 33. We're almost all there.
Yeah, let's get back to D&D.
How old
Very
do you think I
impressive.
am, dude? I still got time.
That's a biblical story right there, man. We're all gonna die.
My papa's
These
birthday
two
was
are
on
babies.
Christmas,
Yeah.
and he passed away at 33.
Get out of here, dude. That is a mind-blowing event
Right?
there. Wow.
Nuts.
Wow. That's pretty cool. And also pretty sad. Anyways.
I'm gonna pull my arrows out of the ground since 8 hours have passed and they're no longer magical.
Yeah, you pull them back in your quiver. You guys rouse yourselves. Start stirring the bones. Quick breakfast is made.
Yagi Gama Goop.
Get?
Goop.
Yagi Gama Goop. Mushrooms and...
Is it still there when we look? Yeah, we can see it. Yeah. That means it's been here.
What the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, we've been keeping an eye on it. It seemed like it was... the working theory is that is part of a different area of the forest.
Does this area look familiar?
Yeah, that's not a different area of the forest, and I've never seen that before in my life, so if you don't mind either explaining it to me, I'd like to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we need to get out of
We fought a creature
We are
that makes
going.
that shit, and it is gigantic and sketchy as hell.
Blanco writes in his book real quick. To those of you that don't have night vision, you might want to consider grabbing some. The professor at the university in Goodfellow says it can give you temporary night vision. Just a thought.
Yeah, I have a
The
little vial of it.
mushrooms.
I got 2 more empty vials recently, though, from insects I gave you. I'll go collect a little more.
Yeah, how close is it?
It's about 40, 50 feet away from you.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah, no, it's pretty
How the sound of the
close.
alarms was that? You made it sound like it wasn't imposing, like it was in the distance. Like,
No, so when at nighttime, your vision, your visual acuity is about 60 feet at most.
Right.
And being that there's not a lot of light emitted from your camp, that's reduced to about 20 feet. So if a light source is emitted in the distance, it's got to be within 60 feet. Unless it's like a fire on a hill, you know, a mile away. And
That's kind of what I was thinking. What was happening? It was such a bright light that we just saw it.
It's close enough that you can see it and know what it is at night, so it's within 60 feet.
Okay, fair enough.
I have 2 glass bottles I fill the goop up with.
Okay. I will say that you get you have 2 glass bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would say you probably get somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 uses out of it, and it will grant you night vision for 2 hours.
You bought stuff from the merchant. How are you getting this?
No, we just collected
This is
some
the
of
blue
the
moss.
blue moss.
Gives temporary night
Yeah, I
vision.
collected it as well.
Okay. And your 2 little
My
vials.
2 little vials.
So
I already
you
had
get
1 vial full of
6.
it.
Oh, with
Okay.
1 vial?
No. So previously, the first time we discussed it, I had the 1 vial filled.
Okay.
Remember, and I let the professor see a little piece of
A
it.
little sampling.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I still have that vial. I'd like to get the other
So there's
2
probably
vials.
one use left in that vial,
Okay.
and each other vial that you get is probably worth 2 uses.
16 uses and how
2
long?
uses each. So I
Yeah,
have
2
five,
uses. So
I have 5
you have 5
uses.
uses. Absolutely. So again,
16.
2 hours of night vision, 16 uses. Fabulous.
So, Lucas, have you ever heard of Yagigama?
No. Should I?
Yeah, but maybe as we leave.
Shall we?
Yeah.
And you see as he kind of hikes his pack up onto his shoulder and starts walking outward. Gus pulling his little cart behind him. He's thrown a tarp over the top of it. And it's kind of a dingy.
I'm standing between
Right.
Gus. I'm not leaving Gus behind us. I'll walk behind Gus, watching
Okay.
him.
Yeah, you stand to the side. Gus moves past you.
Thank you, kind sir. Perhaps if I'm stuck in a rut, you might be able to assist me out, since we have made an arrangement about my weapons as well.
We told you we would help you as long as you don't fuck us. So yeah,
I
we'll do what we
promise.
can to help you.
I have a wife departed, but since celibate, I will not fuck you.
No, I didn't say that. Not in that term, I guess. But
Right.
Shall we carry on? And you guys look up and you can see Gus is starting to follow after Lucas. Your small caravan picking carefully between the trees, following Lucas's footsteps. The morning air is crisp, cool, and as the troop moves over a small ridge, you can hear in the distance this and your hearts each sink as
Yagigama.
you recognize it as the call of the Yagigama.
Fuck a duck running.
And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Ugh.
Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. It's been super fun. I had a great time fucking with the cast here. Follow us on the Woodness Guild. You can find all of our links there to YouTube, Twitch, which is really weird if you're watching this and you're not on Twitch. But I guess if you're watching it as a rerun
On YouTube.
you can find woodnessguild.com. You can find our Instagram. You can find our Twitch. You can find our YouTube channel. Whoever needs what, find it on woodnessguild.com. Send us your fan art. I think there's been some really good parts. I would super love to see somebody's interpretation of the chase scene with the 2 halves of the monkey chasing after you. It would just be...
Christy,
No, she's got other things to do. Anticipated change. Are we okay? Let's establish this right now.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to start at 7 next week?
We would prefer 7.
Prefer?
Yeah, we can do that start next week.
Prefer?
we'll make
Prefer?
whatever work needs to
Prefer?
work to work.
But it
but-
wasn't
All
until
right.
November.
Yeah. So I start work now too, so that makes just them the ones that are okay with the 6:30 start, which means the majority.
Yeah, I'm ugly, so 6:30 is good for
Oh,
me.
you're handsome.
Yeah,
Luke.
okay, well,
You're the most beautiful person at this table. Shut up.
We'll figure it out.
We'll post it.
Yeah.
Keep it posted. So if we start at 7, sorry if you're not ready for that, but we will be. Also, I heard we have some followers from Iceland at this point. That's fucking dope.
What?
I used to remember some things about Icelandic, but now I don't, so I can't speak it. So that's weird. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out with us, and bye.
Bye.